Sup, Troyabi? I actually need to... How you doing, Vital? I'm doing well, man. Yeah, I'm having a great day so far. Nice. Dude, I love... So there's this really, really nice coffee place that's in the middle of Utrecht, the city I live in. And they're just like one of those places that they extract like so much flavor in the coffee. And I've had their iced cappuccino with like this fancy Colombian coffee they have, and it's so good, dude. I had an iced cappuccino today. Roll is 4, and MMR is 3880. Has your opinion on Dragon's Breath changed? No. I've yet to really see it be built. I don't know if it's like I didn't play this weekend, so unless something's happened in the last few days. For sure, man, for sure. I mean, I don't have iced coffee very often. I do like iced coffee. Like, I'd say 95% of the coffee I drink is just warm cappuccinos. But yeah, iced coffee is... You know, the weather's warming up a little bit. It's nice to have. I guess coffee places are like a 50-50. If you go to a good coffee place, it's not 50-50, in my experience. But it does matter who's pulling the coffee, like who's grinding it, who's the one making it. It really does matter. So, like, you could go to a place where some of the baristas are great and some of them are not. Maybe I'm a hero player, but I recently watched your new offlane tips video. In the video, you mentioned defensive aggro. What do we do when our support disrupts that? You ask them to help you move the lane to your tower. You can say, "Hey man, I'm working to move the lane to the tower. Can you block the small camp?" And if they proceed to do it anyway, then it is what it is. I recommend telling them ahead of time rather than, you know, critiquing them when they do it. Bro, I got rejected from the job even though I said I would work for free on a trial period. Yeah, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, I mean, we only accepted 3 out of like 50 people. So I guess I would just remind you it's not personal. It was a very tough field of people to make it through. BSJ, I'm horrible at the game and Bristleback destroys my team. What can I do as a position 4? You can pick a hero like Hoodwink with built-in break, or you could pick a pseudo right-clicking for like Muerta and just buy like a mid-game, late-game Silver Edge. You know, you go like Ags, like Ato's Ags Silver Edge or something. That's what I would do if I were you. Nice, Vital. It's so funny. I feel like Clinks is such a polarizing hero. Like, I just hate Clinks. I feel like people either just like love Clinks or they just like never play. Like, I never play Clinks. He's one of my least favorite heroes in all of Dota. I wouldn't pick Viper 4 as a way to respond to Bristleback because you have to have the Bristleback in the game for that Viper 4 to be useful. But if you pick Muerta, then you can just play normal, you know? If he's not in the game. It gives a lot of base stats. Yeah, I mean, that's not my concern with the item, right? The concern is what situations is it warranted over a pike when you have a Dragonlance? And then what situations is it better than other items? And for me, I can't think of one where it's the best item. I have not been playing too much Dota recently. I haven't had time to try a lot of this stuff. Been a lot going on with the community and such. Yo,
What up?
how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So, I mean, I know, looks like I last worked with you in August of last year. Um,
Correct.
so you said you're playing 4 today. Like, just give me an update because, you know, I didn't take official notes here. I've been getting better at taking notes. What did we discuss last time, and what was your position last time?
Last time I played Spin, and one of my main issues was that I had my camera not showing enough information and showing too much of like my own tower when the creep waves would first meet. So it's like that information is useless. So I should be looking like more ahead to see what information is actually useful. And then one problem I would have is like my support would be fighting on the side, and I wouldn't like help them at all, but that's because I'm not like taking information to see if I should help them or not. And I would just value the CS, and I would just always assume my support is just like out of position. But there would be like sometimes where I was like, oh, I could have gotten a kill, but I wasn't able to because I just didn't even know if I should have helped.
What so you were playing carry last time. I mean I actually remember your session now. What made you move to 4? And why are we doing 4 today?
So usually when I get like below Legend 3, I start playing carry because I just feel like most people kind of fell in the sense of not prioritizing themselves and getting items below that. But once I start to get in the ancient, I notice that people farm better and usually have a good idea of what items to go. So I switch back to support usually when that happens because I like to play support and offlane more. And so I feel like when I do play support and offlane more, I will probably be a little bit better at gathering information and looking around the map because I have more time to do that. So and Spirit Breaker is a hero I'm pretty solid with. I'm pretty good at knowing when to gank. I don't think I check my safe lane that much and move to the torment, the portal. But at checking mid, I do it. And this game, I do a pretty good job at doing that because Drow is mid. So I pretty much knew like, oh, Ogre versus Drow, I can help that.
What would you say like would mean a successful session for you today? Like what are you looking to get out of today?
Um, probably just overall helping my ability playing support. And because the problem is with this game is that this game should be a win, but then turns into a loss as it just goes on and on. And so I think one of my main problems for these type of games is having an early game lead and then just losing it. And so if we could figure out like what I might be doing wrong during this mid game phase, I guess.
Does that happen a lot to you, would you say? Like getting an early
Once I
lead
start,
and then losing later?
I would say at this bracket, yeah, like it's common enough to where I notice it, where it's like we had a good lead and then we lost, and like we could even be taking rows, doing the tormentors, getting all the map, and the enemy is trapped in their base, but they just turtle really well and play the high ground really well, and then we lose.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say before we look into it?
No.
Cool. Check it out. So what's your idea going into this lane? Night Stalker, Spirit
Very
Breaker.
passive.
Okay.
Try to pull when I can. With Winter Wyvern's E, I figure we can't really get a kill unless she's gone.
Gotcha. Oh, that was a cool move. Okay.
I thought
I
of
was
that
wondering
on the
what you were doing.
spot.
That
I
was
was
cool.
like, oh,
Okay. Cool move. How often would you say you like creep dragon stuff?
sometimes I do it. Not every game though. Let's just put that. I've done it. I usually try to tell my offlaner like, "Hey, I'm gonna creep drag," but this guy I didn't tell him because I just figured trying to play as passive as possible.
I'm curious,
But
do
I
you
know
consider creep dragging to be more
no,
passive than this or less
yeah,
passive?
it's more passive, obviously. But like, I feel like if I'm positioning myself, he might get the idea that I want to go. But that's probably just my own mistake in making assumptions on him before giving him the chance.
What exactly are you afraid of happening? Sorry, I'm confused what you're saying.
I'm deep over there. He might come with me.
If you're over here, you mean?
Yeah, he might see it as an opportunity to go on Winter Wyvern. Where it's like if I play the lane as literally as far back where I'm making like no indication of wanting to go on them. I guess I don't have a good excuse for not creep dragging. That's just the honest answer.
Yeah, I guess. Are you telling me that you're not creep dragging because you're afraid of how your teammate will respond to it?
No. Let me fix that. So the reason why I don't creep drag sometimes is because I've died doing it, and so I don't want to die. I guess.
I see.
And sometimes I do it and it works out just fine. Sometimes I do it and it just flubs. I lose the aggro and then they just go back and it's like, well, I didn't even do anything. So,
I see.
well, I guess it would double the wave and push into me, but like I've messed it up many times and I've succeeded.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
guess
it works
my
out.
thought here is that Lifestealer loves a static lane that just like sits in front of his tower. Like I can tell you as a Lifestealer player, and there's a lot of like melee carries that just love this. It's especially the melee carries who don't have stuns or like gap close or anything like that. They really like stable lanes. You know, something like Lifestealer is a great example. A hero like PL, hero like DK maybe, a hero like Jug, Faceless Void. I mean, Faceless Void doesn't mind him as much because he has Time Walk, but these heroes, these heroes that don't really do much in the early levels, they love the lane just sitting right here. And so that's something I like to think about is, does the enemy carry mind if the lane is chaotic? And a lot of times the heroes that don't mind it, quote unquote, are the ones that if they see you doing this, and they go over and you like pulling the creeps, they can like walk over and like kill you. So like a PA, for instance. You know, she's like level 2 or 3, you're trying to drag the creeps, and Wyvern's gotten you low, and then she's gonna like dagger you and kill you. These are heroes that could potentially shut down creep dragging, because what you're effectively doing is isolating yourself from your offlaner, right?
Mhm.
So heroes that can gap close are really good at punishing that, while heroes like Lifestealer don't want you to do that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Could you do me a favor also and show me like the path I would take the creep drag on if I'm Dire? Because on Radiant it's super straightforward, but on Dire I have more trouble getting it behind my tier 2 because like the tier 2 is in feels like there's no like path from the secret shop to the lane where the tier 2 won't aggro onto them. But with the Radiant, there's that little path you can take.
I got you. I got you. There we go. I'm just gonna wait for the second wave. Buy myself some boots.
Make sure to get the taunt on.
Yep, it's very important. But yeah, pretty standard things that you're already doing is that you want to grab the creeps, you want to like body block the camp as you're walking by. Sometimes you'll even need to like block that because they can pull that into it, so you have to be careful of that. A lot of times you'll take a decent amount of health. You have to re-aggro them right here.
Okay.
Make sure they see you here as well, because when they lose track of you. And then ideally you get like 1 or 2 creeps. Like I did it not perfectly here. I would have liked to get 1 more melee. But then you get a free deny on the range, and then I'm just going to run around in circles. I mean, this is like if we want to be perfectly optimal, is we want to get 1 or 2 creeps, or 2 or 3, I'd say, not 1 or 2.
Right.
I messed up getting too few there, so we want to do it like, yep, like that.
Okay.
So this is like super obnoxious for heroes like Lifestealer, because they're just going to be over here and being like, what do I do now? And Wyvern may come over here and contest you, but you've got 67 base damage, and she's like a 45 base damage ranged hero. Now that I'm seeing it, I don't do this very often. I just know what I'm supposed to do. So I think I would have actually taken the creeps over here so that this doesn't happen.
Okay.
Is what I would have done. So rather, I was like running them around in circles over here. I would run them around in circles over here to prevent this.
The tier 2.
Yeah. But that's the general path. Actually, I'll just quickly go back into the map real quick. It's just important to know that when the creeps lose sight of you, they'll stop chasing you. I'm sure you already know that to some degree. So on when you're Dire specifically, the 2 spots that they're going to lose track of you are right here and right around this tree right here. So like what happens here, I'll show you. Just perhaps this has already happened to you, based on what you were saying. Yeah, I don't really care about time and getting this right. That's not why I'm showing you here. So you probably do this one correct because it's the same on Radiant right here. So you obviously have to turn around and attack them here. But if you like keep running here where you like run through the trees. Well, they kept on me this time. But there's going to be times where if you don't do that correctly, like the range creep plus a melee will like not find you basically, and you'll lose like half the wave. So this is a moment where I make sure I turn around and attack again. So I go around this corner and then I make sure I attack them. Like I'll do something like this, you know.
That's good to know. Those 2 spots.
Yeah.
Is where
that's the time where if you were losing funky aggro, then you would that's when it would be happening. I guess I want to give one more thing. Now that we're here, since we're just talking about creep dragging, and we'll get back into the game. So if you're against a carry that can potentially combine, like, catch you over here, say it's like any carry with a stun, or like we said, a PA, hero with a slow or something. So like, say you're dragging the creeps and you see the carry walking over, right? Those are times where you could die. So if you see that happening, then you want to do this. And then you're in a spot where, you know, the creep drag ends up way different, but we want to keep going. We keep going. And the path ends up being like this. And you do it for the creep wave at 130. Get to catch the creeps right here. Make sure they don't lose us on trees. Any of these trees, they can potentially lose us. Then we can actually take this one all the way. Make sure they don't lose us on trees. And we take this one all the way back here. And oftentimes, if I'm creep dragging and there's a hero like Jakiro or Wyvern, I mean, on it, like, I'm too busy, but I try to get 3 creeps instead of 4. But if there's a hero like Jakiro or Wyvern where they have slows and they can do a bunch of damage to me while I'm doing this, then I will have flown myself a salve with the bounty gold. With intent. With Spear Breaker, you can even consider, like, if you're pulling it all the way back to here, you can even consider, like, finishing off the creep wave, going to base, and charging back in, you know? But, yeah, this is creep dragging, and I say this because your lane was going fine, but I can just tell you, against these, like, stationary carries who can't kill you, they just fucking hate you when you do this. Like, it's so fucking annoying. Don't look at my Spear Breaker win rate. Okay. So, yeah. They hate you when you do this. Yeah. And I'm telling you that, you know, you said you play carry, so I'm just telling you from a carry player's perspective that, like, if you are, I'm just going to type this in your chat. If you are playing 4 position, ask yourself if the carry, melee 4 position, playing melee 4 position, and you want to drag creeps. Jesus. Ask yourself if the carry is mobile or not. Basically, can they punish? And do you understand what I mean by the type of heroes that want stable lanes and the type of heroes that don't? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do they want stable lanes? Because this is just, for me, it ends up being more optimal. Because even though your Night Stalker's having a perfectly fine game, Lifestealer's like free farming with zero missed CS, basically. Because the creeps are just sitting right in front of his tower. And so that's why we're talking about this. And then the other thing is, the more that we disrupt this lane, what ends up happening is we're effectively with the Night Stalker less. You're already not playing with him. Like, you clearly understand that you and him don't really have, like, lane synergy of any kind. Like, you clearly get that part already. So what ends up happening is that when you make these moves to mid lane right here, you'll have been disrupting this lane. Wyvern's like chasing you around. This pull's probably not happening. Then you make the exact same move that you just did on mid, and then your Night Stalker is not stuck laning 1v2 with the lane near their tower and this creep camp getting pulled. That's the difference. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. But everything else you're doing, like the looking mid and checking the dive and like leaving at the time you did, in theory, the only thing we can do better is set it up so that the lane that we leave looks better. That's the only thing we can do. And by disrupting the lane against heroes that like it to be stable, they just can't really do much to you. And then when you leave, it's less costly to your offlaner than it would be otherwise. But this is still a good move. So I don't want to tell you, like, don't make this move. Yeah. So
what you're saying makes sense. Yeah. I feel bad for the Night Stalker because I've been that Night Stalker before, and it does suck. And so if I do give him something that makes him, help keep his mentality, that would be good. But I had no problems with him. He never got upset or really said anything to me. So
yeah, I mean, the thing is that, there's miscommunication that happens between cores and supports, because a lot of core players will take it personally that you're leaving him behind. But this is the best use of your hero. So, like,
I think he knew that, because like I said, he didn't complain at all. And I feel bad for him because because I've been there, and it's just like, oh, this sucks to be in this lane where I'm having all my creeps denied. But good job for killing the mid.
Yeah, I guess all I'm concerned about, because I respect that like you're considerate of your teammates and in their position, is earlier when I asked you like why you're not dragging and stuff, and you did mention some stuff about like the mechanics of the lane. I don't mind if you have like compassion and empathy for the guy in the off lane, but if that's preventing you from making good moves, that's when it becomes a problem. Right? So if you're still going to make these moves, then great for being considerate. This is what you can do to minimize the damage to the guy. But it's not like you're making a bad play here. And we just want to... I have had people I've coached that will not make good plays because of fear of their teammates raging at them or whatever. And that's just not helping anybody, sadly.
Right.
So I just want... That's the line I'm trying to draw. And as long as we're on the same page there, then we're all good. So if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so you charge back in, of course. You bought out and died to tower. These are all cool moves. Very cool moves. Get the D ward in lane. Yeah, nice. You're picking on Drow. Very good. You run straight back bottom.
As soon as I got the first kill on her, like my brain clicked, like, oh, it's Ogre Drow. She's gonna have a miserable time in this lane.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, not much you could probably do about that one. Got the Lotus. Yeah, interestingly enough, here when you get the Lotus, you can like either go through the gate, or what would be great for the Night Stalker here, since you're full HP, is for you to walk in and defensive aggro the creeps for him. This is a great thing to do when you're like a melee guy, and even though Night Stalker can do it himself, I just want you to think that you don't want to just sit in this lane. So doing things that move the lane back here allow you to leave the lane. So the reason why Night Stalker needs you all the time is because the lane's consistently sitting right here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So there's a lot of little things you can do. You seem to be pretty creative with your play, like you did the sentry play and all that kind of stuff. I just want you to remember that if you're playing these type of heroes that are going to leave lane, that's perfectly fine. The more that you can get the lane here, or chaotic where it's like back here, or like, some crazy shit where the 5's chasing after you and all that kind of stuff, the more you do that, the less costly it will be to your offlaner. And these are just things to think about. Okay.
I will say I do defensively aggro if I have a range offlaner, so I probably just not thinking of it as important because Night Stalker is...
I believe it. You're doing a lot of little small things. I'm just mentioning your options. But overall, I do like what you're doing here, so we don't need to spend too much more time on this. Let's look at top. You're going to charge it. Okay. Nice. I think my only major concern is that you don't buy like clarities or anything, or like raindrops or like something like this. So you're like just
kind of soul ring here, which I think I probably shouldn't have, but it's probably not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I feel like I would like to see a stick or a raindrop or something, because I don't think you need to go back to base as much as you are. I don't hate it, but I think it's a small investment there. But I like drums, obviously. Drums are very good on Spearbreaker. I would have liked to see like 1 mana item, or even just like a clarity or something, based on what the game.
It definitely becomes a problem, and I'm just gonna buy a soul ring.
I see. Yeah, I think even like a casual stick goes a really long way. People are casting spells around you.
Yeah.
You canceled your TB, I guess, on accident there? Or is that purposeful?
I think I did cancel.
You like insta-canceled it, looks like. Was this a misclick, or was this an intentional cancel?
I think it was a misclick cancel.
Okay, do you have the teleport requires stop option on?
Yes.
Okay, so that was you misclicked stop there.
I think my brain just brain farted, and it was like, press stop, and it's like, wait, no.
Okay, I see. Okay. Yeah, you're definitely going base like way more off. Like a small like a stick and a clarity would have solved this problem, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously you're not a hero that really flash farms, so we don't want to like invest too much in small items, but stick and a clarity is like pretty minimal. All things considered. Okay, so we're diving pretty hard. We're up by 4K. Lifestealer and Fess. SF showed up. Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you're half your potential because you just don't have a stick. Pretty crazy, actually. Like, I think what you're doing in the game is good. You just, we don't. I guess what I'm wondering is, for me, the goal here is like, I don't need to understand Spear Breaker. I can just see that, meaning like, this for me applies to every hero in the game. Where I would just be like, oh, I'm like running out of mana. I'm just going to buy an item reactionarily to running out of mana. And like, I would have recognized that at the moment that you were going base and like, where is it? It's not this one. You went top here, I think, and then you went base after like one charge. Yeah, like right here. This is where I would have been like, I want to stay on map, but I don't have mana. And I would have flown myself a stick and a clarity right there. Like, that's what I would have done. But, like, and then you just continue playing. And, yeah, it's just, yeah, this, for me, this is like, oh, I would love to turn this drow kill, and I would literally just sit here. This is what I would do if I were you. I would literally just say, hey, Ogre, be ready when this guy respawns. I'm just going to sit here. And if this drow TP's in, I'm just going to, like, at least chunk him down to half HP. Like, that's what I would do here. I feel like you're missing a lot of pressure, is what I'm thinking by having to go back to base like this. Yeah, and then we're going to fast forward. I don't need to rewatch all this stuff. Where are we at? You were fighting bottom. Let me know if you have questions.
No.
Yeah, I guess just my main thought is, like, resource management is important on every single hero. And I think it needs attention if you're running out of mana this many times and you didn't buy an item. But I don't need to harp on it too much. That's not exactly why you're here. You talked about like having an early game advantage and turning it into a throw of some kind. Okay. Why did you run back in? What's happening here? You're pretty low. You have charge again in a bit. Oh, you got like licked. I see. I see what you're going for. Okay.
I learned Largo's a pretty hard counter to Spirit Break.
Yeah, he's pretty annoying because he licks off your bulldoze as well.
That as well, but he would just drop a Frog Stomp and I would just charge into the Frog Stomp. And it's like, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, I like that you finished a creep wave and then got your drums. I like this a lot. Okay, good targeting. You have like an ultra wide monitor?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering because like your vision seems weird, but yeah, it makes sense. Okay. So in this exact moment, I would run towards top because they're all dead. We have ult on cooldown for 45 seconds, and I would blitz it to here. I'd even consider TPing. I would have a stick, and I would have sticked and TP top. Looks like Night Stalker might go there. Okay. So this is commonly my problem with people I'm coaching that are 3 to 4K. You guys have generally pretty good map sense of where to make moves. Like, actually, I've noticed it. I'm like, wow, it's pretty impressive. You're making good moves here. You literally got your drums, smoked your team to mid, took a team fight. Fantastic. What you guys do with team fight wins is a huge problem. So for me, when we win team fights, I just want us to think the map is ours. And it's imagine like we're trying to rob someone's house and this is the time that they're not home. And you're like, I'll just wait till they get home. Like that's kind of what you guys are doing. So in this spot, I want to think the time that they're dead, I need to extract as much out of the map as possible and then be full health, full mana, ready to go again when my cooldowns are ready, right? So like whatever hero you're playing, it's going to be different. But for Spearbreaker, you have 60 seconds to extract the map, right? Because they're dead for 30. They need to like teleport out of base and like walk somewhere. And you can kind of like probably be back in base or fly yourself a Clarity. What, like, if you, with your health right now, I would say I would like fly myself a Mango and a Clarity, or I'd go look at with the Lotus pool over here. You know, like I'm checking options basically. And my thought is you getting like 7 or 8 creeps worth of experience, reloading your resources in the next 60 seconds is like what's going to define your skill. Okay. So however much you're farming out of this is telling me, you know, what basically your MMR. So like right now, I would want a TP top. I would clear this wave right here, the catapult plus the next wave. I'm going to pick up a Lotus. I'm not going back to base. The thing about Shadow Fiend TPing there is he's now off map. Your team is now top. Like your Shadow Fiend could just be hitting this. What I mean by off map is the enemy knows where your team's going to be now. They're all top. Your carry just TP'd there. It's like, what does the enemy learn from a Spearbreaker TPing somewhere?
Not much.
Nothing, right? So Spearbreaker is one of the best heroes in the game at this. It's like Spearbreaker, Dawnbreaker, Underlord kind of. But like Spearbreaker and Dawnbreaker are like the best. So a lot of people don't value the fact that what if you were reloading your resources, Shadow Fiend and Night Stalker are sitting in this, like Shadow Fiend's farming this, Ogre's like taking mid wave, and then Night Stalker's over here, and like you guys are controlling this. Like imagine this, right? You guys are all controlling this, like you're stealing their camps, and then the Spearbreaker with global presence TP's top and takes this farm. But now all of a sudden we just have 3 heroes sitting nowhere. And these are things you can't do anything about your teammates making this mistake. But I've told people time and time again, if you don't properly TP to waves, somebody else is going to do it.
Right.
And Spearbreaker's a great example because he's global and he can't jungle for shit, right? Like he just has no other options, right? So, do you see like how somehow a 4-team kill has turned into most of your team being in a place that doesn't do anything?
Yes.
Like, you see how that's kind of happened?
Mm-hmm.
And I say this as a precursor to this is how the enemy gets more space than they're supposed to get.
Yeah.
So this is just stuff. Let's see what happens here. This isn't like all you, obviously, but I'm trying to tell you your role in this. Unfortunately,
and that's probably why I have these games where I have this lead.
Yeah.
And then throwing it.
Okay, so you got a charge. Great. Guess what you're supposed to do right now?
TP bottom.
Yeah. Boom, baby. This is like 7 creeps that you're going to be getting. Fantastic. We don't need to do anything more here. Like, if your team wants to pressure the tower, that's fine. But, like, this is the kind of stuff where I know you guys are getting 2 kills, but Lifestealer free farming this shit and 9 creeps dying underneath tower is why we're losing this game eventually. I know it sounds like I've had to tell people this. Stop pushing tier 2 towers. Stop going for more. Like, if you used your shit and there's like a wave to farm, we need to go farm it. So here's what it is. When you use your ult or resources, check lanes and map to effectively reset the map and then go again. You can make this exact same move if they present it to you like 30 seconds from now. Like, it's the idea is when we are just letting creeps die to our towers while we're doing this, it's like I can just tell you as a lifestealer, I'm like, thank you. And I'd be so fucking annoyed if a Spearbreaker support TP's in front of me and I'm like, I guess I have to run away now? Like, that just feels terrible for Lifestealer, right? It just feels terrible. So maybe I'm not sure if you envision this, but if I'm a carry Lifestealer here and I see a Spearbreaker TP in front of me, I actually have to run away from you. Which, like, sucks. Like, I'm not going to, like, retreat to base, but I'm going to, like, start farming backwards. And then, like, suddenly, Lifestealer's map presence goes like this. And he's, like, back in his base again. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so right now, I think your moves are really good. I think your general, like, playmaking is great. these like 2 times of downtime to TP top and TP bottom, I think for me it's a pretty pivotal issue, and it's hard to like convince people exactly, or like not convince, but like quantify the drawbacks of this, right? Like how exactly does this end up playing out? But
Right.
you know, for me, if you finish those 2 or 3 creep waves, you're going to have an extra level. You might be finishing your Shadow Blade right now. If you have that plus a wand or even a stick and like a clarity or 2 where you're like have enough consistent resources to be fighting, you are doing so many of the hard things correct. Meaning like general good movements around the map, and we just need to get these resets after the fights a bit more clean, plus resource management. If we can get those 2 things, like I think it's a pretty, I think they're holding you back a lot for what it could be. Like right now, you're gonna have to like go base again because you have no resources.
You're about to see the what's like, oh well, I know the solution.
So what happens here? We like dove them at daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, this is a non-nighttime Night Stalker 300 gold off Blink. We're getting carried away. I mean, I know we're up by 10k, but we effectively don't have a hero who's worth 7,200. Like, he just doesn't exist in the game. Ogre initiated this. Honestly, you can't do anything about it. So I think what you did is fine. You're going to TP base. I hope you charge top, which you do. Fantastic. You buy your soul ring, better late than never to adjust to the mana problems. I don't think you could particularly do anything about what happened bottom there. You're going to go through portal, perhaps? No. Okay. You're looking at the lane. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So my thought is, who is your idea of who you're playing around here?
Ogre.
I want you to look at your lineup and tell me who you think is the best hero to play around at this exact moment.
Based on where they're at?
No, based on strength in the game.
Stalker.
Yeah. This guy. He's got ult. Who's your damage?
Shadow Fiend.
Okay. So your 2 strongest guys are bottom. I need you to either push out the wave and then connect to them, or I need you to connect to them. That's it. That's pretty much the rule. We're either like being obnoxious while split pushing, or we are connecting to our strongest guys. Our role as a support is to recognize who on our team is the strongest and connect to them in any way possible. So what sucks in these games is when 2 guys are really fucking strong and there's just, quite frankly, 3 guys kind of having a party on the other side of the map. It feels awful.
Yeah.
And so I just need you to not be a part of this. You did a great job of not being a part of this. Like, you helped how you could, but like your ogre kind of went Rambo there. You know what I mean? Like, not too much you can do about that. Other than potentially saying to your team to play around Night Stalker ulti, but that's, you know, they're probably going to do it anyway. It is what it is. But this is the part where, however long it takes you to connect to Night Stalker and SF here is your MMR. Like, however long it takes. So I'm just going to, like, I would have gone through Portal right now, based on what I see. I would either go through Portal right now, or I would ask them to go through Portal. One or the other. I'd say, like, hey, after that wave, Shadow Fiend, can you go through Portal? If he doesn't, I would go through Portal. I'm either making a call to defend top with them, or I'm going straight to them bottom. So, like, if you want to charge this wave, that's fine. But, like, whatever this is, I just want to get out of here. I want you to go bottom right now. Whatever this is. This feels so awkward. We don't want to respond to whatever this is by the enemy team. We want you to be standing over here, and whoever shows bottom gets fucking dove. That's what I want to be thinking right now. Okay, so we end up walking to our guy's bottom. This is like a natural order of things. Meaning, you know, you eventually be like, I guess we should go bottom. So it took you about a minute and a half. So you have the right instinct. We just need to make it faster. Fantastic. Crazy how that works out, right? Combined with the strong guys and kill them. Okay, so now Night Stalker's not strong, so we want to split push and focus on getting our items, which is what you're doing. So I'm going to go through gate right now. I'm walking through gate, and then I'm going to charge this wave. Finish my item. What I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Okay. Don't be afraid to take waves from your team. Is that something you're afraid of?
Maybe a little bit. Not too much of Spirit Breaker, because I know my job is to pick up the scraps of creep waves.
Gotcha. Is there any of this that is like new to you? Meaning like I'm teaching you something new, or am I like reminding you of things that you know to do? What is like the vibe of this session so far?
A lot of it is reminders, but I mean that's still helpful, I think.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, yeah. I guess I believe it's all helpful. I guess I'm just wondering. Would you say this is like a consistency issue for you in terms of executing this stuff, or like what do you think is stopping you from going bottom wave right now, like through portal to bottom wave?
So I would say that my mindset is that I'm supposed to pick up the more dangerous creep waves, and because that creep wave is right by my tower, I feel like it's to my cores. So whichever core goes gets that.
Okay.
So I should be getting this top one because that's the dangerous one where the enemy is more likely to play. So
okay, we fixed it. We understand the root of your problem. Okay, so your current perspective. My role is to take dangerous farm so that my cores don't die, right?
Yeah.
Taking it. This perspective is very useful when you're losing. Change in perspective. Take the most passive farm away from any objectives or invasive plays as a global hero to enable your team to run at them.
I see that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because your team, I can tell you as a core player, I just want to farm every camp and walk this way. Like, I just want to walk at them. Like, I'm in SF, I'm like, I'm going to go click people. I'm a Night Stalker with ulti. I just want to run at people. But I can't do that. Somebody on your team is going to go bottom now, is what's going to happen. And then Night Stalker is going to, like, somebody's going to go bottom in all of this, or we just never go bottom, and we take, like, a random-ass fight in their triangle. That's the other option. The two options are nobody farms it or somebody farms it and you don't take a good fight. Those are the two options. So for me, I would want you to think right now that the lanes tell you if a fight's going to be good or not. So what I want you to know in this circumstance is you guys aren't allowed to fight until bottom lane's cleared. You're up by 6K. That lane has no business sitting there. Right? Like, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want. You're up by 6K. So we don't want a lane just passively sitting over here with this is like 400 gold. It's like a lot of gold. Right? So the way I'm looking at this is as long as you know that creep waves are enablers for the team that's ahead to fight. So when you're losing, it's great if you're like being obnoxious, taking dangerous farm, because you're effectively thwarting the opponent's ability to fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in this case, you're almost kind of thwarting your own team's ability to fight. And what we can say is that so right now in the game, given the exact moment, my idea is this. We are split farming until Night Stalker has ultimate again. When Night Stalker has ultimate again, we want to do something powerful, right? Like meaningful in the game. So it's 25 minutes. It's going to be in 3 minutes. Or 3 seconds. It's going to be 25 minutes. Night Stalker has ulti in 45 seconds. I'm thinking Roche bottom pit with what my team's doing right now. Roche is currently top. He's going to walk to bottom. So I'm thinking we have 45 seconds. What's something we can do in 45 seconds? Roche bottom pit. We also have wards there. Literally the freest alley-oop of we've got wards, we've got a power spike. There's every reason to be playing around bottom right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I want it to mainly be that we are in split push mode until, like, this is especially Spear Breaker specific, but it's not only Spear Breaker. We're in split push mode, we're in farm mode, we're in obnoxious mode. And then when's our timing? When are we going to go again? And in this particular game, it's Night Stalker. It's usually like the guy that has, it's Ravage or Night Stalker Ultimate or Chronosphere or, whatever, Quap Ulti. And then we go. And in this case, for me, it's like, how do we end up in this spot where we're diving their triangle? In my experience, it's because somebody didn't clear a wave and nobody said anything. Those have been my experiences. And we kind of just end up making a play. So a lot of times as support, it ends up being your job to say something. But there are also times where, like this one, for example, where you not clearing the wave made this more likely. It's not like it's purely your fault, but it made this more likely to happen. Like, I just know for a fact if you went through Portal and said, hey guys, I'm going to clear this wave, let's take Roche when Night Stalker's ult is up, like, this situation is 10 times less likely to happen. It could still happen. Teammates might do it, right? But it's very unlikely. And you, like, running in there with them is equally bad. We enable this play. Somebody needed to go bottom. It could have been you at any point here. I guess for me as a support, even as a core, I'm always thinking about what part of the map I want to be fighting in. That's something I'm always thinking about. So earlier, Night Stalker had ulti, and I'm like, I just want to be with Night Stalker. I want to be wherever that guy is. In this case, we weren't taking a fight yet, and we're kind of like taking a lead. So I'm like, where do I want to be on the map? And it's like, well, in 40 seconds, I want to fight again. In 40 seconds, the most pivotal objective right now is Roche. So I want to be around that area. So earlier, nothing bad was happening, but it took us longer than it needed to get together. And in this case, we took a fight somewhere that we don't want to be. So I guess I'm asking, how often do you find yourself asking, where do I want to be fighting in this game? And then basically following it. Being disciplined about it. How often would you say that's, like, happening for you?
Like in this game or overall?
Overall, in general.
I try to think about where I want to fight overall. I would say this is just a snap decision. It became nighttime, and I think my team just went, and so I went too. But I do find it very hard to get people to go Roche or do Tormentor. Even if I were to say, hey guys, I'm going to go through Portal. Let's wait for Night Stalker ult and do Roche. Maybe there's a higher chance of them listening by me saying that for sure. But it is very difficult sometimes if you're saying that for 20 minutes and nobody's doing anything. It's like, okay, guys, we'll just do whatever the team wants then. I heard
Go ahead.
SVG say this, and I imagine this is way more true for pros than it is for pubs. But he said it's usually better to do the wrong thing as a team than to do the right thing by yourself.
I completely disagree with that on all fronts, on everything that is not pro play. I disagree with that entirely. I would talk to Avery about this. I'm 95% sure he meant pro teams.
Yeah, he probably did.
I'm 95% sure he did. My advice is don't make mistakes that are not your own. Tell me you thought that was a good play, and that's why you did it.
I can't.
Otherwise, I can't coach you.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, like, blaming you. It's just like, I can't coach you. Because it's like, the only way that somebody can be coachable, quote unquote, is to know they're making their own decision. It's like, if I ask somebody in real life, why did you do that? And they're like, well, somebody told me to. And I'm like, well, I have a concern with that action. It's like, what do you do with that? So for me, it's interesting, right? There's a lot of things we can't control. that are happening in pubs. There's so many things. And there's also times where there's a lot of miscommunication, where not only are people not potentially listening, but they're also getting mad at each other, right? It's like a very emotionally draining, tense game sometimes. But the one thing that I've tried to tell everybody is make your own mistakes and don't be a part of things you don't believe in. This is like the most important thing. So if I tell you, I'm not trying to teach you to get your team to listen to you to go Roche. I'm teaching you that's the ideal play. Make the call, play around it. If they go do this shit, then you're farming bottom right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Like, that just is what it is. But like, I can tell you, if you make this play with your team, the wrong play across 1,000 games, you're not going to win. Like, it's not winning you the game. At the end of the day, it's weird because we want to work with our teammates, but if we also blindly follow them, that's a recipe for being the same MMR eternally, because we're following people who are our MMR. So it's not that I'm telling you, fuck your team, never listen to them. It's that work with them when you agree with them. And that's just, like, I know it's easier said than done. It's simple, but it's not easy. I totally get that. But I just want to make sure you know, I'm not expecting any of this to be your teammate listens to you. It's like some glorious, clean Roche fight. That's not what I care about. It's that if we say what we want and then stick to it, there's that percent chance that our teammates do it great. And then there's the percent chance where they do this and we're just farming bottom. And I can tell you, you'll win games doing that, but you won't win games doing this. That's what I'm telling you. You're not going to win every game that your teammates decide to throw. That's going to happen sometimes. Like, we can't win every game. But I can tell you across numerous games, it's much better for you to be playing according to your own gameplay. I went on a bit of a rant there. Any questions or thoughts from you about that?
No, and I agree with what you're saying.
But yeah. I mean, it's easier said than done, I'm aware.
It just gets exhausting sometimes when, because this probably isn't the first match of the day, and I know I am usually the one saying, hey guys, let's roast or do Tormentor, and nobody's listening, and so it just sometimes it just gets exhausting. But I still should try to be more consistent.
I can totally understand the idea that it's exhausting. For me, because I can relate, I think a lot of people listening can relate. I find it that I get exhausted because I expect an answer.
Yeah, for sure.
And for me personally, it's been eye-opening that when I stick to what I want to do in the game and I communicate what I want to do with virtually no expectation of an answer, Dota is actually pretty peaceful. People either respond to you or you just keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
It becomes exhausting when we think we're supposed to get an answer. I know.
100%.
So go ahead.
I said 100% I agree with that.
Yeah. And it's sad.
It's just the lack of an answer that gets so exhausting.
Yeah. And the thing is that I guess I want to hope my message lands is that it's not the lack of an answer that gets exhausting. It's you expecting an answer and not getting one.
Yeah.
And I say that because it's not that I'm trying to say it's your fault here, right? I'm trying to say that this is the agency you have. You can't make that guy listen to you. But you do control what happens. You do control your mentality when he doesn't listen to you. And I struggle with this too. So I'm not here like on some high horse saying, dude, it's just this easy. It's so obvious. Right. But I'm telling you, in the days where I'm in a good mindset, that's what I'm doing. And for me, what's been happening is because I've had to unlearn this habit myself, and it's very difficult and it takes time to rewire. But the days where I'm like down and out, not in the best mood and that kind of stuff, I'm going to respond the exact same way you do, where I'm like, man, can my teammates just listen to me? It's like a completely reasonable and understandable human response. But for me, knowing that I also have agency to just not feel that way, if I know by saying this, I'm not being guaranteed an answer, like it's been liberating for me. personally, and it may not help you, but it's been liberating for me, and I hope it helps. Because at the end of the day, Dota, it can be taxing, but it sucks to describe a game we love playing as exhausting. Like that.
Yeah.
That sucks, right? And that's part of what I'm trying to do when I coach you guys is all the things all of us can relate to, but it also it doesn't have to be that way. And that's what I'm trying to say. Any questions or thoughts about any of that?
No, I feel like you're pretty spot on, where it's just like expecting the answer is what's getting exhausting. Where it's just like, if I just say, okay, no one wants to do that, I'm going to do my thing. And if you get mad at me for going bot and split pushing when you guys all die in their instance, and that's your problem.
Them getting mad at you is the same as you getting upset that they're not listening.
Yeah.
It's their problem. Like you said. Right. It's the same thing. We all play a role in this. Like, we got to find the right balance. It's not 100% your fault. It's not 100% their fault. It's not like miscommunication is going to fucking happen in a Dota game. Why? Because you're 5 fucking strangers, never played together before, and you're just loading into a really complex game with a lot of moving parts and snap decisions being made in the moment, and shit's just going to fucking happen. One thing that was really interesting about the community, I've been building with the dojo and everything, is that initially we were trying to be like, how can we minimize frustrating situations? And then over time, it just became so abundantly clear that it's, no. How do we handle them? Because they're going to happen no matter what. Like, these miscommunications, these times where you talk to your team and they just don't fucking listen. There's going to be times where you make a call or like you tell your team, I'm going bottom, I can't be there. And then they run into the enemy triangle as 4 and feed. Like, and then they blame you for not being there. This shit's gonna happen. Yeah. Right? Like, it's gonna happen. Period. It's what we do with it. That's how I've learned from players that are just more grounded than myself. Like, they just do that better. They just have a cleaner perspective, I would say, on that stuff. And for me, it's been liberating. And it's almost sad because I don't have as much time to play Dota anymore, so I've been able to apply this more and more to real life, but I'm still working on translating it to Dota. Difficult, easier said than done. But the main takeaway I want for you is that if you make your own mistake and play the game according to what you believe in, I promise you'll be way easier to coach. I already think you're pretty coachable. Like, you seem to have like an open mind and a healthy perspective, but you'll learn a lot faster, and you'll feel like whenever things do go wrong and you're asking yourself, what could I have done differently, rather than getting consumed by the, man, like, that play felt awful, I didn't feel like I wanted to do that, but I did it anyway. Like, cause it just feels like, it feels like you're in a fucking grinder of repeating the same mistakes whenever, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That feels awful.
Yes.
In my experience. So, but yeah, that's definitely the beginning of a throw. Game's not over though. Got about 10 minutes left. Just let me know if there's something I haven't hit, because I want to make sure I get, we've broken down different portions of the game. I just want to make sure I'm watching as much as I can.
In the game I specifically wanted to talk about, because it's just like the overall, how do we have this early game lead turn into a throw? But like, even if you look at the win graph, like we had a chance to win at 50 minutes, so it's like it's just constant.
So what's really yeah, I got you. So what's really interesting about this is I understand you know what? This shit's just gonna happen in pubs. Like, you're playing around your team, you're pushing the wave instead of Varosh. You're like playing the sides. I think you play this fight pretty reasonably. I don't think you did anything here.
But
what?
They outsmarted. I was hoping that the enemy team would come gank me and would ignore the roast.
Yeah. No, I think what you did in that fight was overall very good. So we're just gonna keep watching. I liked how you handled that. You're gonna charge bottom right after that fight, so you're doing a better job of that later on in the game. We just got to get that going earlier.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Once I get like into the transition of doing it, I feel like I'll do a good job at constantly keeping the waves pushed out, but I have to kind of hit that flow state.
It's interesting. You say that, and then you're ignoring this to go charge this guy.
Yeah, as soon as I said, I looked top, and I was like, no.
So this is something where you're going when this guy's ulti is 20 seconds cooldown, and he's almost to a nullifier.
Yeah.
And there's just a wave. I need you to just not be a part of this. Like, I would want you looking at the game, doing the exact same thing we did at like 20 minutes, which is, or 25, which is when are we strong again? Night Stalker ulti. I have 18 seconds before my team, or what is it? I have 18 seconds before my team wants to do something. I'm going to go clear top, and my next charge will be available for the fight if there is one. But, and I would just communicate, guys, hey, I'm charging top. Night Stalker's ult is up in 20. And I would just say that. And it's not because I'm telling my team what to do. It's just if I tell them the reason for my decision, people are far less likely to get tilted. They still do. But like I've noticed myself, they're just far less likely. It is at their point. It is at that point their problem. If they get tilted at me for doing something that I called, and having a reason.
I notice that I get less tilted too if someone tells me what they're doing, because it's like, well, at least he told me, and so then I knew to back up.
Yeah,
or it's like,
exactly.
He communicated, so it's like, am I really? I can't really.
I can't really do much with that. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. So yeah, now top just kind of sits there for a while. You do charge it though, so better late than never. A lot of this stuff is how long it takes you to identify the correct thing rather than not doing the correct thing. I think that's a big issue for you. Or like not the big issue. It's like you don't have as much of an issue of not doing the right stuff. It's just how long it takes. So, what is the main ability or item or cooldown that decides your team's ability to fight again? These questions are especially relevant when you're winning, right? Because people will take kind of careless fights when they're ahead. It's like, oh, we're up by 10K. We're just going to go run at them. Like, that's something people will do, but we still have to be very calculated about what is the best time to run at them. So what is the main ability, item, or cooldown that decides your ability to fight again? Line up connecting with your team with these cooldowns. So, like, in this example we saw earlier when Night Stalker had ulti, it took you like a minute and a half to get to him. And then there's twice where he's not had ulti, where you go fight with your team. So these are what we're trying to avoid happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say I probably should see Night Stalker more like a Tidehunter than view him like a Slarder. That
could definitely be, I mean, it could just be a potential misunderstanding of Night Stalker as a hero. And so, something that is
well, once it's nighttime, which is half the game,
yeah,
then he's ready to go. And then during the daytime, he has his ult. So it's just like, I kind of do see him as a constant go hero.
No. Night Stalker is definitely not a constant go hero.
Yeah.
There are times where you chase for more, for sure, but he's definitely not a constant go hero. He might be the most polarized hero in the game of how useful he is. Like, he might actually be the most polarizing hero in the game. Not at all like a Slardar. They are run at you heroes. I guess like that they have that in common, but the way they run at you is very different. BTB back to base. You're gonna charge top. I don't hate this. Okay. Yeah, you're charging a lot of waves now. Your team's looking to Roche. You guys are going to do it. This looks pretty good to me. Fantastic. We want to charge top right now. Yep, perfect. Beautiful. I like what you're doing here. Yep, this is all good with me. You're going to charge it again. I think this is great. Connecting with your team and then leaving, and then connecting with your team. Fighting outside of base, catching the drow. We don't want to go high ground though, because they have a Wyvern. Okay.
Wyvern definitely played well this game.
Yeah. Gonna charge top again. I think this is all great. As we're just wrapping this up here, I'm just watching. This is all like the last 5 minutes by you. I think has been clean as fuck. You're gonna run away. Ogre TP's in. So you guys force those TPs. I'd be charging somewhere else almost immediately. So like right now, you guys force those TPs. Wait, where was it? So you get gone on. Where is it that you get gone on? It's like right here. I would try to charge bottom right now. I'd say, hey, team, run at Largo right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. You kind of do that by considering charging that guy. SF seems to want to sit in front of their base, which is something I would just probably communicate we need them to come out of base. So I think the issue here is that SF is not hitting creeps. He's just sitting in front of their base. So you guys aren't actually extracting a lead, but you're doing a good job. Yeah, this is great. You're cleaning up the map. BKB. I think instead of Lincolns, I would definitely go Octarine Core and just make yourself like a team fight beast by doing that. Lion gets killed by Wyvern ulti. How does this play out? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think your mid to late game execution is pretty great. I think we never want to push this. Yeah, no Aegis or anything. It's where you get baited into these fights that I think you just get a bit carried away. Because sometimes, like, this one's the most understandable of all of them by far. Where, like, right now, you guys, like, you engage again. This looks good. Still at Night Stalker ulti going. You know, SF BKB ultied. It's like, okay, SF BKB ultied. Night Stalker's dead. Let's just leave. Like, this is the moment. Right here, right? Because this guy has no BKB anymore. And I can tell you as a carry player, you said you played some carry. Like, that's what we talked about last time. You need your BKB late game, right? Right. So I would love to see this guy finish his Satanic and you charge mid. There is, like, maybe this lack of patience from all of you. Yeah. The thing about all of this is I just need you to tell me that you thought that was the best time to go high ground. Mm-hmm. If you thought that, then we can learn from it. But based on what we've been talking about this session, I don't think you thought that. I might be wrong though. Like, there are going to be judgment calls you make that are incorrect, and that's fine. Like, we all do it. So the main thing I think if I could get you from this session is resetting after early to mid game fights. That's a big one. Being consciously aware of when and where you want to fight, and then just communicate what you're doing. I think if you shift from making calls to what you're doing, you will have more, like, or less exhaustion from this, like, communicating and then people not listening to you. Does that make sense? For me, it's been a pretty drastic perspective change to communicate what I'm doing versus what I want them to do.
I have a question, though.
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
I don't pronounce his name. It's like Z Quintinox.
Yeah. Z Quixotics, yeah.
Yeah, Z Quixotics. He once said that the support mentality is basically no retreat. And so, like, if your cores are... I understand in this instance I should leave. But, like, how do I gauge that of, like, my cores are not leaving, so I'm not supposed to retreat as support?
How do we gauge that? We explain what we are thinking. Hey, SF's BKB is on cooldown. I'm charging top. Don't expect him to know to leave. Just make the decision based on what you think. Like, I'm telling you the reason that I would have backed there is because my SF BKB requiemed. Right. And then I would look at his items and be like, oh, I would say SF's BKB's cooldown. Let him finish Satanic. I'm charging top. But that's just because that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's not, like, I know it's not as easy as I'm making it sound to just communicate what you're thinking. But we're not telling him what to do. It's just, hey, because of these things, I'm going to go do that. Mm-hmm. For me, it's very different than saying back off.
Yeah.
Because if SF's like, hey, 2 of them are dead, why am I backing off? You're not telling him to back off. You're saying, like, if he wants to continue running high ground, like, you know, there's only so much we can do. I think everybody watching here is like, why is a BKB-less SF who has gold for Satanic going high ground?
Yeah.
I think, like, we can all agree on that. It's just, it's not your responsibility to make him not go high ground. It's your responsibility to inform yourself of what you think is the right decision. And then when you make a decision, it will work better if you just say what you're thinking. it's hard. And so, like, you know, sometimes the first step for me is I have to mute my teammates to allow myself to hear myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like so clouded by communication within the team and all this kind of stuff. Or like maybe I've had a rough day at pubs and been yelled at a few times and I'm getting in my own head. Stuff like this happens.
Right.
And I do think it's still very impactful if I mute myself. I've even learned from people in the server that if I'm going to mute myself going into a game, that I can just tell my teammates, hey, I'm mode focus. I'm muting myself. Or I'm muting you guys, but I'm going to still communicate. Like, I can say that. And they said that they would much rather me do that than just mute other people. Right? So that's like an example of, once again, saying like, hey, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be trying my best. I'm trying my best to be a good teammate, but I also need to take care of myself. And if I feel like I can't fucking focus because of the people communicating that day, then it's my responsibility to do what I need to do.
Yeah, I get that, especially as carry.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's especially as every role, because sometimes even as a support, you're getting dragged into bad fights, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's very important on every role. So, I mean...
it was the comms that was dragging. It was just kind of people going.
Ah, I see. Yeah, either way. It can be multiple different factors.
Right.
I think Zach is a great guy. That's Z Quixotics. But I will significantly advocate, like I will be a heavy advocate of not doing things you don't believe in. Like, that is my, like, if I had to say one of my top 5, like, coaching mantras is that. Like, it's one of the most important things for me. Once again, this is perspective. So if you play out some games and you resonate more with his way of thinking, like, that's fine. You know, no offense taken here. I'm just also, I'm trying to help you guys enjoy the game and win. That's what my goal is. So,
and I don't think his way of thinking would have worked here because, like you said, SFS doesn't have BKB. There's really nothing I can do to save him if they go on him at this point if he doesn't run away.
Yeah.
Like, what happened. We're all gonna die. So it's just like I have to just get out. If I am like some save support, like an Omni Knight who can throw a Guardian and let him TP out, well, that's different. But a Spirit Breaker is probably just get out.
Yeah, and it's different given every situation. Maybe him not having BKB isn't relevant if you're Omni Knight, right? But but yeah, no. That was my goal for today, is just to give you my perspective. I think that I feel like we identified what's. I think you have a lot of good things that I'm seeing in these games. And if we can, like, we have the notes already. Do you have any final questions? Any clarifications you need for the stuff we've gone over?
No, that's all I have from you for now.
Sweet, man. Then I'll let you go there. I enjoyed this session.
So, same here.
Have a good one, man.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're a bit late for class today. I'm going to go join class. Sorry, I'm a bit late, everybody. That's a big camera. How's everyone doing today? Nobody responded. That's a GG. Nice. I'm doing well. I'm doing good too, Lewis. Very busy. Interesting. I've had like a breakthrough weekend. Like, you know when you have these like things that are racking your brain, or like, this is a problem and I just don't know what to do about it? I've had that kind of weekend where like that thing that's been in the back of my mind for like a month has just blossomed. It's just, you know, I've gained clarity, you know. So I had a great weekend for that reason. I also had a really nice time. I hung out with Sheever, Owen, Mira, Kyle, Blitz. Am I missing anybody? Beaver, Owen, Blitz, Kyle. Yeah, I hung out with them. That was a great weekend. Yeah. It's really funny how many Dota people are in the Netherlands now. Like Mira and Koikfa live in the Netherlands. Obviously Shiver and Owen live in the Netherlands, and Blitz is on Team Liquid, so he's in the Netherlands. Very funny how that works. Okay, we're gonna start the recording. I'm gonna invite Eclipsing Binary. Wait, Greenman, I thought you were German. No, Koikfa was not there this weekend. I thought you were German. Fuck. You're Dutch? Oh my gosh. Well, you German Dutch people are all the same anyway. I'm kidding. I know it always pisses Dutch people off when I say that. I don't know if it pisses German people off because I don't know any German people that I would make that joke to. Okay. Okay. I had no idea you were Dutch. That's really funny. Okay. What city do you live in? Oh, you don't live in a city. Okay. Okay. Okay, Eclipsing Binary, we're inviting you up. Yo.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Okay, so you're looking at farming patterns with your Boots of Travel again, starting around 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember last time we talked about, one of the big takeaways was like I could have used Boost Travel more aggressively, and I spent too much time with the team at certain points when I could have been pushing out other lanes. I wanted to see if I did a little better here, and then just like generally, fight selection and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's check it out. Okay, so force a bunch of rotations top. We TP mid right now. Right now. Perfect. Okay. 10 seconds late. It's fine. So good. So the beauty of this is that if you do this really, really fast, where you force a reaction like this, right here. So you force a reaction on the tower. You see this TP. If you TP mid right now, what you actually do is you W this wave, you walk to top rune and check it, and then walk straight back to this area. It's literally the exact same thing as fighting with your team, except for the 13 seconds that your ultimate's on cooldown, you use a TP to go mid, you check rune, you come straight back to the fight. And that option is not available if we wait this extra 10 seconds. Because now, like, the fight's already happening by the time we leave. You see what I mean?
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, it's still good that you went mid, but by doing it late, it actually kind of makes it worse. If that makes sense. A lot of plays in Dota are, like, really good the second you're supposed to do them, and if you wait 10 extra seconds, they're potentially even detrimental. So I want you to continue making these plays. Like, it's not good for you to not TP here, meaning, like, for your own habits and learning. But I'm just trying to show you that 10 seconds can make that big of a difference. Just to show, like, the urgency of your options in the game as well. Yeah, and part of the ability is to check the rune as well. With Boots of Travel, we can always look to casually go mid for a quick rune and then walk somewhere else, because it's like the TP is less of an investment, and you walk faster back to other places. Okay, so you would W this next wave. Yeah, it's really important we W this wave. Yeah, great. And you TP bottom. Fantastic. This is great. I like this a lot. Okay. Yeah, this is all fantastic. Yeah, maybe a little over aggressive by walking into the tiny toss with the 3 heroes, but overall I like that. This is good too. Let's see. Make sure you W that wave and back off. Oh, Spectre TP2. That's a little strange, but you go top as a result. That's a good response to that. Let's see. So against Disruptor, I would just go BKB. Because your job in the game is to just not get picked off. And even though Axe can pick you off, it's actually the main way they catch you is Disruptor. Because you're not even showing on creep waves most of the time. So I think your job is to be able to run in. They don't really have damage through BKB. Axe doesn't really do anything. Void doesn't really do anything either. So I would have gone BKB here. I don't think Hurricane Kiting is all that great against like Disruptor and Chronosphere and stuff. Okay. Yeah, this is great. Very fast TPs. Okay, you even pinged waiting to see if your team would go. And you're just pushing. Tiny's up in 20. We go through Portal right now. So what you would do right now is you W this wave and go through Portal right now. Because we want to be able to be with our team mid in 17 seconds, but this is also a wave down here. So let's increase the Portal usage. And now that wave just kind of sits bottom. Now you TP to it. Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, but it would have been better to Portal there and then TP back top, potentially.
Okay, yeah, so I decided to stay top and push another wave, but I guess that wasn't as effective because it was already under their tower anyway, pretty much, right? And I think somebody was respawning.
You're trying to fight with your team when Tiny's alive. What's going to prevent you guys from fighting is waves at your towers.
So how do you make the decision that we want to fight now with Tiny?
Okay. There's a big difference that I talked about this in my educational smurf that hasn't been posted yet because the new patch came out. Let's change it from you want to fight, you want to be able to fight. There's a big difference. I'm not saying Tiny's up, go. It's that when we are strong, we don't want to not be able to fight. And one of the number one reasons we're not able to fight is because we TP to our tier 2 tower to clear a wave. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
So don't think about you as pressuring waves when you're strong. Think of it as I'm enabling my team to group up. Does pushing the wave into top enable your team to group up? That's the question. There's going to be times where it might, but a lot of the times the way that your team can't group up is when the waves are at their tower, at your towers. Think about things that force you to separate from your team. And that's the things we want to be doing as often as possible. When we have no reason not to fight. We have Spectre Haunt, we have Tiny Blink. We have no reason not to fight them. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Let me know if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So it's not that we had to try to force something, but rather I need to have the option, like I need to have TP up and everything if something happens.
Yeah, so right now, what I'm thinking is we have Haunt, we have Finger, Tiny's alive. I would hate to have to TP bottom to push out a wave. That's what I think.
Okay, yeah, because I was looking at the timer and thinking, okay, the next wave is coming top, so I can just W that. But then, yeah, I see what you mean about, like, it would have been better to just take the gate and push bottom instead.
In this freeze frame, it was better for you to W this wave. In the freeze frame I'm giving you right now, I think it's much clearer that rather than walking this way to jungle, you see this, you see... What I'm telling you is, whenever my team is ready to fight, I need to be done clearing waves. So I'm thinking, what are the most impactful waves in the next 20 seconds? Like, that's what I'm thinking. So, and often it's not pushing it into their tier 2 that allows you to fight. It's pushing out the defensive waves. Like, have you ever seen this where people are like, I want to smoke. I'm going to go clear this wave bottom and then we're going to smoke. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Because you're not actually creating any pressure unless you're like, the only time you create pressure is if you would actually kill the tower yourself or if you like solo kill somebody who comes top. But otherwise, pushing it into their tower doesn't actually do anything. So yeah, this is the example where we continue to have the ability to fight and we are TPing bottom instead. Do you see the example here?
Yeah, I see.
Okay. So it's like one of those spots where if your team was to die, I'd just be like, damn, you guys have all your abilities and they don't have chrono and we're just not fighting. Yeah, it works out. Your teammates made it happen eventually. You had one last timestamp question about 30 minutes. Let's get to there. Overall, though, I see improvement. We're just going to be gradually shifting, I hope, your perspective on what you're doing here exactly. I think I definitely see improvement. You went Ags. Your team's pushing top. Rubik's dead, but he's no Spectre Haunt. Yeah, your team should definitely just be farming the map. You're going to pick this up. I think everything you're doing here is completely reasonable, especially if you're communicating it. I think the only mistake you made is by TPing there. We just TP bottom. Yeah, I mean, like I've tried to explain, there's just going to be times where your teammates make what I consider objectively bad decisions, and they're going to get mad at you for not joining them. I think you did a great job of not joining them, and then you TP'd. But actually, I like what you did there. You know, for me...
What specifically?
What?
What specifically were you referring to?
That I did, or...
When you said you like what I did?
I like the fact that you said you communicated to your team that you don't want to push that tower. You picked up a rune, you cleared mid, you were like looking at the fight, but you weren't really going. Because you were like, I don't really want to do this. And then, you know, for me, it's just kind of this last minute TP where it's like, okay, maybe I'll go. That's the only thing I had an issue with. Like for me,
Okay.
if you did everything you did up until that moment, you're like, oh, man, I guess they fought anyway, and then you just TP bottom. That's what I would have wanted you to do. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
I do agree with your assessment of the situation, and if you're communicating what you're doing and why, then there's nothing else you can do. I do think this is like a really good BKB game, though. I know it doesn't look like it because they have Axe plus Chronosphere, but they have all of their damage is magic. Literally Void's a magic damage carry as well. Yeah. Or I guess like a mixed damage carry. No, overall though, it's definitely better. Any final questions for today? I think the clarification is what waves mean. I think that's like the big takeaway that I would notice today for you.
Okay, yeah. So what waves mean? Like, so basically it sounds like the closer the wave is to our tower, the more kind of urgent it is, right?
It's more that when you're a Boots of Travel hero, you're available to fight anywhere on the map, and it's your job to be able to connect to your team when they are strong. And in order to not connect to your team, it's when we don't clear creep waves defensively. So we need to look for opportunities to not allow waves to go into our tier 2 at the time that our teammates are strong.
Okay, so I just need to plan ahead more. So like I got to look at like when our ultimates are coming up, when people are respawning, and then take
Exactly.
care of problematic waves before that, so then I can
Exactly.
be free to. Okay. Okay. Yeah,
I
makes
saw
sense.
clear steps in the right direction today, but what you just said is it's a great next step, and you worded it exactly how I wanted you to take it. So it sounds like you understand.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
No problem, man. Sweet. Yeah, no, I think the progress Eclipsing is making is exactly why we're doing this here. And consistent, slow, like meaning like gradual, not slow, that's the wrong word, consistent, like gradual progress over the course of time with this type of stuff. So that's great. Joe is up. Invite Joe up. Where is the match?
Hello.
Hello,
Good
Joe.
evening.
Match is not being cooperative.
Did I get the right number?
Yeah, it could just be Dota. I might just restart Dota. Yeah, I'll just quickly restart Dota. Making sure I don't dox myself here. Usually when I'm streaming classes, I just share the screen in case with stream. In case.
Close my screen.
They can see my wonderful AMD Ryzen background.
Yeah, I got the match ID right. So.
Yeah, it's probably just happened enough times that I always at least give it the obligatory turn it off and turn it back on. If that doesn't work now, then we might have a problem, but usually it works. Yeah.
There we go. I was playing very cautious in this game. It's on the heels of like a 7-game loss streak, and maybe a little too cautious. And I think just my laning stage was messed up. I probably went the wrong ability build, and
Yeah, the issue I've noticed with QoP is since we replace Shivas with Bloodstone, is you have 6 items and you have like 12 armor. And you're against SF, CK. That's been my experience with QoP. I feel like there just needs to be an armor item in here somewhere. It's something I've noticed in my own games, and I've noticed my teammates QoP struggling with it as well. Just something to consider that in the past you had a natural build path that gave you some armor, and now you just don't. So you
maybe like
kind
a
of.
blade mail.
What's up?
Maybe like a blade mail, or is that not enough armor?
It's worth considering, but I've considered this more of a late game problem than like an early game, mid game problem.
Gotcha.
So I don't think blade mail is like a good 5th, 6th item. So I think really your only options are like Shivas or
Yeah, I mean, so off the bat, I went dagger on this game, and I don't think I should have.
okay. Yeah, so for me, in the QoP versus SF matchup, it's really heavily decided on who wins in the first couple waves. I think your approach is either to block the wave onto your hill and dagger him, level 1, or to not level dagger. Like, you kind of don't really have both. You kind of went like a wishy-washy build of like... so SF, there's going to be matchups in your mid lane that are heavily dependent on level 1 and 2. Because SF has a pretty huge power spike at level 3 with the level 2 raises. So, like, if you are low on resources by the time he's level 3, you've already lost the lane, pretty much. So I just want you to know that you're either planning to beat him by level 3, or you're just playing for farm. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
Definitely.
So as long as you're doing either one of those things where, like, you know, you didn't really intend to dominate him with your skill build, and then you went back for a skill build to dominate him by the time that it's no longer optimal, that just feels pretty bad. And yeah, SF's a pretty impossible hero to walk into 1v1.
Yeah, I know. So I tried that a bunch of times, and I just got.
Yeah, he's the single best trading hero in the game, in all of Dota. So it's just something where the 1v1's always going to be a bit tough. The only solution to that is to get some ganks from your team, but maybe not reliable. So, no.
Yeah, like you'll notice me just running away a whole lot in the laning stage. So.
Yeah, it's like I usually the thing is, if you're winning by level 3, then you'll bully him out of lane with dagger and you win. But if he's ahead by level 3, like where his resource management is better, like you were pretty low mana and stuff, then it's a lost cause. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you did this exact thing and you were like, oh, you know, it didn't work out this time, I'm not really bullying them out of lane, then you leave dagger at 2 points and you go back for points and scream. That's still better than like continuing to invest in the dagger. Does that make sense?
Definitely, yeah.
So for me, QoP is like, at what point am I no longer bullying the shit out of them? That's when I stop putting points in dagger.
Yep.
So, you know, sometimes you don't put any points in dagger. Sometimes, like, there are going to be matchups where, you know, you scale better than them in the lane. But in my experience with QoP, she either gets the momentum very early or she doesn't. Like, it's not really... There's very few exceptions in my experience with QoP. I think one of the reasons that I tend to lose on QoP, like I have a lot of games on her, is because I am not the best at being hyper-aggressive level 1. I tend to play much better on heroes that like to chill level 1 and then play for later timings, and that's something I've been working on. It's just funny where like what I'm describing I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not very good at this either. So yeah, I know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's a different story though. I like this gank overall. Like I like the idea behind it. But I guess my thought for you would be that Dagger is really bad against heroes with built-in dispels. So if you're going to max Dagger, you're pretty much saying I'm not going to gank appeal. That's how I look at that. Yeah, this is fantastic. This is exactly what we wanted.
Good help from the Spirit Breaker in this game. I think he's kind of saved my lane. Somewhat.
Yeah, so what you're learning is that you don't trade 1v1 versus SF very well. So you've been consistently learning that. So what happens here is you want to minimize 1v1 interaction with him as much as possible. So he's respawning in 5, but he has like no TP because you guys just killed him. So what I'd be thinking for you right now is I want you to push this lane and then go do something. Whether that's farm or whether that's gank, whatever it is. So because you have ulti and you have a rune, it's not like the best rune ever. But like if I'm looking at your exact scenario, I would right-click down the creep wave without screaming it. I would pop the illusion rune and bottle up at least twice in order to have mana for my combo. And then I would be looking to go top or bottom right now. But the idea is not like, let's not make this overcomplicated in the sense of like, I'm giving you an exact answer in this instance. But it's more, if you ask yourself, do I trade 1v1 well against this guy? Then if the answer is no, then this like static time in the lane where you're just kind of chilling in this area, you need to make it less. Does that make sense? That can be done by leaving ahead of time and ganking and coming back, or it can be done by pushing the wave in and just leaving. That either one's reasonable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So the only thing we're trying to avoid here is just this, where like if I look at your heat map, you're just in this area when you're against heroes that you don't trade against very well. You just want to get out of here. So like right now, we just leave. None of this shit. Just leave. Right? And now you're like, I gotta leave anyway. So this is just something that you'll learn matchups through, and I don't expect you to know every matchup. SF's a very good example of a hero that just kind of shits on you. OD's another one. These heroes, we just kind of want to... Sniper is another one. We want to minimize one-on-one hero interaction with these heroes. We either are ganking them, or we're just pushing the wave and leaving, or we're ganking, they push the wave into us, we TP back, and we pick it up. Those are kind of like the 3 things that happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I had a game just like that, like a lean that kept on jumping on me in lane, and I stayed probably too much, tried pushing and whatever, but yeah.
This is just, the main thing is pay attention to how well am I trading against this guy 1v1 and how much am I staying in the lane. And as long as you slightly adjust that over time, it'll just keep getting better and better. And that is the gauge for what's keeping you in this lane or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good, man. Then I'm going to boot you.
Alrighty, thank you.
No problem. Okay. We're going to position 1 Ursa from our boy Ari fan here. Okay, so you had an early lead, and you're wondering what I would do differently. I swear to God, if you guys dive a tier 2 before 20 minutes, I'm going to lose my shit. Let's find out.
Hello.
Yo.
Yeah, I kind of wrote an essay for my question. Yeah, I had an early lead. We had an early lead.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the graph's pretty telling, but nice comeback.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll look at what happened here. So there's obviously a bit of a spoiler alert, meaning like you've told me what's going to happen, but my goal here is to show you precursors of what I'm thinking so that we don't have this happen. So what happened here? You have Treads. You're probably like number 1 net worth.
Start now,
Massive number 1 net worth here. So you see a bunch of shit happening top. However long it takes you to run bottom here is your MMR, basically. So you see all this.
Oh,
So however long it takes
I
you to either do this or this.
okay. I ran mid. Yeah.
Yeah, either one is fine, but you're hitting some creeps. So as a
Okay.
carry player, you're completely off map, #1 net worth in the game. Creep waves are being ignored.
Okay.
Big
I
deal.
guess I should skip those camps.
Reminder, sense of urgency goes up the more information we have.
Okay.
I need to add this timestamp actually, because this is like a video I've been wanting to. Let me just take time for this real quick.
God.
Because it actually is a really hard question. Do we skip camps or do we not? Right?
Okay.
I'm not trying to like
But,
make a horrible example of you.
yeah.
It's
Would
that,
you do like 1 camp or 0 camp?
or not. I actually have like other clips that I'm not meant to be in this exact video. But I actually just need to start simulating this video. So it's just a feels thing, but the more information you have, the more sense of urgency you have. It's just that simple. So like right now, I see this already. Like this has been happening for a really long time. I'm not stopping at any camps.
Okay.
Like I'm just not. But if this fight was like brewing, but it hadn't happened yet, then I would probably hit this camp. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
The reason why this is so important is because, you know, the amount of time it takes you to then to come back or like to go down here or like say this fight was still going and you had your blink flying out to you, you could easily clean up. You know, it's just hedging these situations. Okay, so you TP top, get a nice kill. That's fantastic. You're feeling yourself. No ulti for 25. We need to chill a little bit, I would say. You're going to go bottom. This is a little scary. I would almost certainly play off map during all this time. Okay, you go back to off map. It's fine. This is looking good. Your ulti's back up. You're finishing your basher. You're working your way back towards the bottom lane. Yeah, this is all great. Gonna push in the wave. Connect to your team, probably. Yeah, this is fine by me. A little bit of a... Okay, I see. What happened here at the start of the fight? This whole thing was looking... Oh, you blinked in while globaled. I see. Yeah, I mean, this was just a really non-clean execution from you and your team. I don't actually hate any of this, though. Like, I don't hate that you joined this fight. I feel like everything was lining up based on what I saw on the map. And maybe your game sense was a bit off because you have Dawnbreaker against Silencer. Like maybe that's the only reason that like maybe that's the only reason you're not supposed to take that fight. Like that's a hyper specific, you know, like I'm assessing off of a generic map state that fight made sense. Right? And what I'm trying to say is that there's just going to be times where their heroes are like good against yours, and even if you're strong, that means don't run into them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I only realized Silencer counters Dawnbreaker after this game.
Yeah, that's like literally. I think it's like Dawnbreaker's worst matchup by like 6% or something. Like it's like really fucking bad. It's like Silencer and Nyx, like the only two heroes that can really cancel Dawn's ulti. So yeah, the only thing that I would tell you about these fights is that both teams have pretty damn strong counter initiation. So picking and choosing when you go in is really important in these type of games. And if I'm you, I would need to know what spells I'm going to see first before I go in. So I would need to see like global or maybe RP casted where I then blink in and ult immediately so that I don't get like globaled or RP'd. Does that make sense?
Okay.
This is just kind of a fight discussion now. It's like a fight condition discussion that this has turned into. I think your map movements, other than the not sense of urgency to go push the wave, I think your map movements were pretty good.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a follow-up question to this? Because the game kind of plummeted from there in terms of the win rate graph, but I guess we can, like, what happens next is the question.
Okay. Yeah.
UTB
I
top.
TP'd away. Yeah.
Don't love that. I would have immediately connected back to my team through this.
Okay.
We don't want to be able to fight. We don't want to not be able to fight.
Yeah. I
So we
agree.
hate that this bottom fight's happening and we can't be there. So basically, if you TP away from your team and your team has no reason not to fight, then this shit's going to happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the Dota Dojo mantra we're trying to have here, I actually said this in my 2K educational Smurf lobby, and my teammates nailed it. Does it mean that they like did every map movement perfectly? No. Guys, operate under the constraint that when you and your team are strong, you have to be able to fight, which means don't TP away from them and don't have low resources. Those are the two reasons. I'm not telling you guys to force a fight. There's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's just very likely that bad shit's going to happen when your team feels strong enough to fight and you're just not there. There's a big difference between like what we're talking about. Like the difference between the last replay where I told Viper or Eclipsing to like not go there. He was able to fight. It was just a bad fight. There's a big difference there. I'm not telling him to go fight. I'm telling him to be able to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You guys see what I mean? Give yourself agency. If you remove your ability to be able to fight, you're just at the mercy of your teammates' decisions. There's a chance that his teammates pushing top there might have been okay, even if he didn't like it. And he has boots of travel, so he can go there afterwards if the fight ends up looking good. You know what I mean? If that fight bottom was looking pretty even, you couldn't have been there anyway. Like, that's the concern. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So you wouldn't TP away?
I would walk away or stay with my team, one or the other. The motto is always to walk away.
Okay.
If you're going to TP,
away,
you just have to know that this is like, you have to tell your team to leave fucking bottom, or you have to go through the portal and connect back to them immediately. Like, that's the situation you're putting yourself in, and there are exceptions, but the thing is, you do it when your ult is on cooldown, or Dawnbreaker ulti is on cooldown. You know what I mean? Like, you do it when there's a reason to do it. Like, you can TP away from your team when there's a reason not to fight, but you guys had everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're number one net worth in the game, and your teammates had their spells, and you TP'd away from them. That's just a natural spell of it for formula for disaster. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Then we're gonna wrap it up there. I'm gonna boot you.
Yeah.
Booted. Okay. Remember, guys, our mantra is to be able to fight. Give yourself the decision. You know, there's going to be different reasons that we can't fight, meaning like sometimes you get stuck TPing to defend towers and you could have cleared the wave earlier. If you find yourself not being able to fight when you want to, it's usually creep waves. And all you have to do is like rewind a minute and a half and just see where you could have cleared that wave. Because you probably could have. And to be clear, if he TPs away from his team there, it's okay if he immediately goes through portal to connect back to them. That's okay if that's what he wants to do. It's okay if you just TP away from your team and then instantly connect back to them in like the next 20 seconds. Like, that's fine too. There's no like removing yourself from the map, especially as number one net worth, is not a good option. Okay. We got Q, who said he's not going to be here. I'm just confirming he's not here because last time he said he wasn't going to be here and then he was. Okay. Okay. So reminder, I'm working on deciding at game start which lanes I'm considering rotating to. And then my goal is to frequently use my camera to check if that lane is available for a gank. This game I'm considering mostly bottom lane. Once Primal hits 6. Is this like a carry Primal or something? Why bottom lane? Oh, you're... Okay, you're saying like he might go through portal or something. I'd love feedback on this pregame conception of gank targets. I'd also love feedback on the following. My camera movement's 5 to 15. When could I be checking items and lanes more? Sort of off that point, any gank opportunities I missed in this 10-minute time frame. If there are missed opportunities, what caused me to miss them? Okay. So for me, I would say that your ganks are probably around a forced rotation that the opponent is forced to make, and then the follow-up move. And the reason that I say that is because they have a bunch of really immobile, tanky guys. So most of the time with those type of heroes, we want to poke and prod and then go kill somebody else. So rather than thinking like, what are the heroes I'm trying to kill? It's how do I go about killing them? And for me, that's going to be a two-pronged move most of the time because you need to force a reaction and then have one of them not be there and out mobility on the map because you're Kez and you're a super jump around the map kind of guy. And they are, you know, Razor and Necro. So, very, very beefy boys. I'm going to fast forward to the 5-minute mark where you're talking. Yeah, one thing is, you know, you went phylactery, I guess, because where are you going with this? Like a Battle Fury? What is this? Battle Fury uses, I haven't played a Battle Fury builder since the new patch. Is this Battle Fury? What are you doing with this? Let's find out. Yeah, you're trading farm with, this is the weirdest build I've seen. You have a Ring of Health, Blade of Attack, and you're going treads. I don't hate it. It's just a weird build. I kind of see why you have it. I don't think you've particularly missed any opportunities. You're just playing to farm, which makes, like, I'm fine with this. I do think that by going the build you went, you kind of, like, removed your ability to move around the map because you had, like, no completed items. Which is fine. Meaning, like, you're playing according to the items you bought, which I think is good. Like, here, I would definitely look to push the wave and go bottom right now. Because I see pressure mounting on the lane, and I'm very strong. So I know you could potentially take mid tower here, but I see that these guys have ultimates. Like, I would definitely go to my team in this case, because these guys have ultimates, and we can, like, call for a play bottom. So I would walk bottom and tell my team to be ready to go. I think this is a missed opportunity for you to connect to your team. Because the thing about this is, when you walk up to the tower and Necro walks up to the tower, you just leave. Notice that? So I don't think it's really meaningful for you to push this tower. The only time I would do it is if you think one of your teammates is going to wrap for you. Like, you're really strong and your team was also really strong and you didn't connect to them at all. That's, for me, that's the issue. You prioritized pressuring the tower, which I don't agree with. I'm not sure how often you just push a wave and walk somewhere. I think that's pretty impactful, though, to do ahead of time. Yeah, so oddly enough, I feel like walking bottom was just great here in general. I think there were like 4 or 5 opportunities, but you prioritized taking the tower. I don't hate it. It's just more like it's not exactly it's a Mage Slayer. That makes sense. I guess I'd be curious why you're prioritizing the mid tower. I'm just thinking that when I'm against heroes like Necrophos that are like super immobile, my goal is to punish them by being mobile. That's like my thought. When you're playing like Tinker or like Necro mid, it really sucks when your team is just getting ganked. Because there's like nothing you do about it. Where you're just like a static farmer. So I feel like it was fine that you were like mirroring his play, to some extent because you have to like survive the lane. Like you bought a ring of health and you like got out of the lane yourself. But then right when you got the treads, I would have been looking to move around the map. And you kind of just maintained this farm / push the tower. And yeah, I think you had several opportunities to just kind of walk bottom starting around 10 minutes. You end up TPing. Yeah. Overall, though, I think I see what you're doing, and I think it's a bit of a nuanced matchup thing where, you know, maybe the thought for you is what kind of mid laner are you playing against? Is it better to be more mobile around the map or just trade farm? And I think I would rather have traded farm until I have resources, which I actually think you did a good job. Like you bought raindrops, you bought ring of health, you know, like you were buying items that responded to the game state, and then you bought treads, and then at that point I think, okay, we can start looking for plays now. And so I think 10 minutes was the first point where I'm like, okay, he could have walked somewhere. And I'm curious as to why you didn't consider walking places. Or maybe you did consider it and you just thought to stay mid. Curious why that was your final decision. Okay. We got cool vibrations next.
Hello.
Yo, how's it going?
Good. I'm outside right now. I'm gonna try to keep muting myself, but I think there might be some noise.
It's all good.
So the question I submitted and the game I had with it was I don't know if this is the best game to showcase, but I've just had this situation a lot where doing good in a game and then just lose to like a very late game comp because they come online. And obviously this game had the Medusa and a PA, so it was like double trouble. And I said in my comment, by the way, I kind of did a little bit of a troll build, so I definitely feel like that was maybe a part of it. But I just kind of anything else on top of that too. If there was some like faster path to victory, because I know too, in like a lot of like some of like the in-house games, we've like done a discussion before where it's like, what does the tempo of the game need to be for us to win? And the games where it's like, the games where it's okay, yeah, they scale harder than us, we need to win faster. I mean, I don't always know like what to do with that information. Like, okay, yeah, we want to win early. I mean, don't we always want to win early? How do we actually do that? Like, what difference is that? Am I supposed to be doing in how I would play to try and win sooner?
That's a fantastic question, and it alludes to the fact that there's no such thing as when we're trying to win by. For me, these type of questions make sense logically, but they don't translate into any meaningful gameplay, which makes me not like these type of questions. Like for myself, like when do we want to win the game by? For me, Dota is so much more contextual than that. It's good to have a general sense of who scales better than the other, but it's much more like in this situation, how do we best make use of our time? And are we content trading farm with them? So it's like, you know, for instance, if they have Medusa, PA, Necro, and we won our lanes, and our thought is like, hey, let's go like a bunch of farming items and never run at them, then they're going to get the opportunity to recover. So it's like, you know, I'm going to ask myself, does trading farm with the opponent benefit them or us? Like I'll ask myself that kind of question. And that's mainly for like 10 minutes to like 30. And that means like, how am I itemizing? Am I going like full greed? Am I going, you know, one farming item and to run at them? You know, what am I doing? And that is going to inform my decision. But when it comes to these like late game scenarios, pretty much everything I end up with is, why did you guys go high ground when you didn't have to? That's like pretty much what happens like 90% of the time. And there's no such thing as really like ending the game at a specific time. So let's see what happens here. You know, obviously you missed your overgrowth, which sucks. You guys are gonna get what, 2 lanes of racks, it looks like. They're like an Aegis. Yeah, Aegis on Bloodseeker. Yeah, Necro's dead. You guys are pushing. Yeah, so now we need to back off and reset resources because there's a tier 2 tower top. I think this is an unnecessary fight. Yeah, I mean, every time we fight, it's just like, what's the reason we're fighting, right? So in this case, we took 2 lanes of racks. There's a tier 2 top. There's really nothing left to fight for. So we get this racks down here, and I think it's
Yeah, I think this was like the first. Right after here was like the first bad fight we took, and then we had one more fight where we tried to go and take the top lane. I think like maybe 5 minutes later, and then that was the game felt kind of hopeless after that because we lost that fight.
Yeah, for me, it's all boiling down to these moments where I tell you guys to make an informed decision and then tell your teammates what you're going to do. So in this case, I would say something along the lines of, they have tier 2 top, let's back off. We're low. That's what I would say, something like that. And then I would just TP top or TP base or whatever. I would, give my teammates a chance to disengage. If they keep running in, it is what it is. It's when we join them that's the problem. Like, I think if we just look at that, there's just nothing left to fight for. We have 3 heroes that are like below half HP, 4 heroes technically, one of them with an Aegis, and I don't think this guy has like BKB and stuff. Like, these are just like on paper obvious moments where we're not supposed to fight, and it's our job to get better at identifying these moments and then just not fight. If our teammates decide to fight after we communicate to them, then it is what it is. I promise you that if you survive here and like you living grasp or whatever it's called, nature's grasp this wave, and then TP top and nature's grasp this wave, you guys are infinitely more likely to like can maintain map control at this stage of the game. Unless you telling me that fight was good, then I don't want you taking the fight. That's kind of how I look at it. You're like, I believe that was a good fight. Here's why. Otherwise, the only way I can really coach you is say, like, here's why I think that's a bad fight. We just need to identify it in the game and not do it. So a lot of times it's for me, I've just had to learn to get better at, like, checking in with, like, why are we fighting in the first place? So we were taking 2 lanes of racks. So whenever I take a racks, I've naturally checked for tier 2s and thought about, like, am I going for the next racks? For me, like, that's a niche decision of, like, do I go for the second set of racks? It's not a very niche decision to clear 2 lanes of racks, have there be a tier 2. Like, for me, that's like a very cut and dry, nothing else for us to get here. Let's back off. So that's what I care about here. You are going to, yeah, this guy's like doing his own fucking thing. Yeah, this is good. I mean, I guess you guys just don't kill this guy. Okay, you do. Meanwhile, your team's doing something. Let's see, I don't mind what you did there, though. Build is kind of troll, but you said you were having fun, so it's all good.
No, I've been playing a lot of Treant off lane, and I was kind of thinking like maybe I could get away with this build as a 4, but I think in retrospect it probably wasn't that good.
Yeah, so we just need Aegis here, right? We just need to go get Roche. Very standard, like, Dota thing. Let's go get Roche. Edward diving. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, generally, what I'm trying to say is you guys come, like, and this isn't just a you thing. When you guys come in, it's like a really complicated question and problem, and usually what I end up saying is don't go high ground without Roche. Have a reason to be fighting. If you guys are low with no cooldowns, we just need to work on presence of mind to back off. Like, I think you guys were obviously owning, but these things are universal from game to game. What are we fighting for? Do I think it's the best time to fight? So like I end up with these, yeah, go take Roche first. Yeah, you guys got 2 lanes of racks. We need to back off. I hope I don't come off as like dismissive or whatever. I'm just saying that, like, I just want you guys to hopefully see that it's easy to get overwhelmed by this type of thing happening a lot, but it is generally a fundamental reason not to be fighting, and that's what I hope you guys can take away from these type of things. And if we communicate to our team and tell them what we intend to do, like, hey, let's get Roche, let's wait for it. If they continue to go high ground, it just is what it is. Like, we can't do anything about it. You're not going to win games diving high ground without Aegis. That's just, like, you're going to lose more games than you win doing that. So, that's where, any questions, I guess?
I guess not. So I think So you would just say, like at my rank, as like a rule of thumb, just straight up, just don't go high ground without Aegis.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there are 3% of situations where that is correct. And unless you are 5K or above, you don't need to ever worry about exceptions. Just be
Right.
disciplined about
Okay.
like the correct play most of the time. It's kind of like
So that, and
yeah.
then don't take fights unless there's like a reason, like an objective. Like rather than like we should have just rotated to the top lane to take the
There's
tier
two
two.
reasons to take, or there's 3 reasons to take fight, or 3 requirements. And I would say at least 2 of these need to be true. Okay? You guys have all of your abilities and cooldowns. You guys have full resources, meaning health and mana. And you also have an objective to fight for. So what I mean by that is sometimes in the mid game, there's no clear objective. You guys are just really strong with full resources. So let's go kill somebody. Do you know what I mean? But I think at least 2
Right.
of those 3 things should be true. And so
Okay, cool.
I think that, is that a helpful checklist for you guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So like just
Yeah, and I definitely agree with what you said, where it's like it's hard to say like, oh, we want to win by 30 minutes, but then like that's not always realistic. So yeah, it's more of an idea of like, how am I going to itemize? I'll think about that too.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's that it's kind of like when somebody says, "Hey, what do you plan to do in 5 years?" And I'm like, 5 years from now, on April 13th, 2031, this is what I'm going to be doing this day. It's just not realistic. Like, that's how it sounds to me when somebody says, like, how do I end this game at 42 minutes? It's like, how many micro decisions happen between 0 and 40 minutes that I can predict the impact of? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So it's like good to have a, like, I can tell you what I think the direction of my life is going to go. I can be like, this is where I kind of want to head towards in 5 years, but I can't tell you what I'm doing exactly in 5 years. It's the same idea for, I can have an idea of the direction of the Dota 2 game. I can have an idea of kind of what it's going to look like and what I want to try to make happen. But I can't know exactly when I'll be doing something and how I'll be doing it and why. Sometimes, and just throughout the game, you adjust. There's only so much planning ahead we can have, or foresight.
Okay, cool. I think that's pretty good to go off of. Thank you.
No problem. I'll say edit message. 2 criteria for fighting. 2 of 3 must be true. I'm gonna put this in the doc. Cool. That's not a perfect formula, but I think it's a good start. Okay, we got one last question from Capybara. Okay, he said he couldn't attend today. Okay. So he's saying how to approach the lane and post lane phase 5 to 15 minutes as mid when playing against carry heroes playing mid. Yeah, so generally against carry heroes playing mid, you want to farm pressure them. Like you have 2 options. You either run around the map killing their team or you farm pressure them. But with Lina, you definitely farm pressure. So like you might go, Maelstrom straight into like Dragonlance, for instance, and you just like keep up the pressure. Like Maelstrom, Dragonlance, Pike Shadowblade or something, Yeah, so there's not too much you can, let's see. So what I would look to be doing here is that you saw this right here. You saw that Alk is really low. You saw this right here. So when I see this, I need you to think that there's literally nothing Alk can do if you push in the lane and just walk over here. So this
I think Capybara's here,
Oh, is he?
by the way. Yeah, he has his hand raised. I'll leave the stage.
Oh. He said he wasn't going to be here, and I thought I didn't see him. Sorry. Hey, Commodore.
Hello.
Sorry about that.
Hey, no problem.
So when you're dealing with farming mids, a lot of times they're not good at fighting back. Alk is a perfect example. He drops pretty low, tanking creeps, and he buys an item like Soul Ring instead of Bottle. So think about their ability to fight back against you. And then like right now, instead of walking to your own camps, walk to his.
Okay.
Because a hero like Quap will kill you if you do that. A hero like Alk ain't going to do that. Alk, Medusa, stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So yeah, same idea, just incorporate their camps instead of yours, and you can look to have this second ward be like over here somewhere. Like instead of placing like I know you have your first ward, but instead of the second ward being like here or here, or like in the middle of the lane, you can literally put it over here. They want to do what you're doing, but you're better at it than they are. So you need to fuck with them doing it.
And ignore the tower, or should it be
Ignore
hitting the
tower.
trying
Ignore
to-
tower.
Okay.
Walk past the tower. Yep. Just walk past, like not through it, obviously. But the thing is, you started doing that when he's already level 6, and like he literally just hit. Oh no, he didn't hit the timing. What happened here? Okay, so you got. Yeah, it's interesting. I think your play is fine. You just get hooked by a pudge. Okay. And we are late to resume the farming or the. Okay, so this is good too. You're gonna walk top. You have a haste. Okay. Fortunately, Ursa died. Okay, TP back mid. I do think it's a pretty huge missed opportunity. I love, like you against these farming heroes, we want to punish them really hard as early as possible, so that 5-minute opportunity is a big miss. Now there's not really much you can do about it. If you haven't already, if I'm Lena, I'd be banning Pudge in my nominations. Like such an awful matchup. Okay. Yeah, so interestingly enough, I'm buying like Null Talisman, Falcon Blade, or something like this. Like, I want to be able to play up here and fight them. So you're like playing here, but you had like Brown Boots, Glove of Haste. Imagine like they go on you there and you have like Falcon Blade, Null. Like you actually might just kill them both.
So I should be contesting his farm, I don't know, maybe from my level 3 or maybe 4, like walking around the tower, going to his small camp, doing this, getting Falcon Blade, small fighting items, or
your idea is to be farming with pressure. Yes. So whenever it looks appropriate for you to back off and farm here, instead of buying Maelstrom to do that, you buy Null Talisman and Falcon Blade and do it over here.
Okay.
That's basically what you learned here.
Okay.
So what you're learning is that if you're playing against most mids, Lena wants to farm and they want to disrupt that, so you're playing this way. But when it's flipped, you're now role reversaled. And you're looking to still farm, but do it up in their face. So just ask yourself, what items does it take to push up into their face? Do I need mana? Do I need sustain? Do I need raw HP? What do I need?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, in this case, they can contest me. Like he's an alchemist.
Yeah, he can't do shit.
So, yep.
Yep, and the only I think overall the major mistake or the major thing to learn from is like when you tried to contest them and they hooked you with Pudge, you had Brown Boots, Glove of Haste, and you almost killed them anyway.
Yeah.
So if we just give you some more items to work with before that, then that's just telling you that you had this inclination to play more aggressively, but then you had items that didn't enable you to play aggressively. So now we just need those to match.
Okay, and is Falcon Blade my only option for this scenario, or is there any other item? I don't know, maybe double.
You can consider like double null and a wand or something, just depending on the game. You can consider it. I mean, I've even seen somebody like Malrine go like an early Atos or something, you know? Like null talisman into Atos, but that's more of like punishing a mid game thing, so that's like not really applicable here. But yeah. So I'd say small stat items and Falcon Blade are your options.
Okay, a very quick question where I believe it's a very similar scenario. I had another game that I got a Juggernaut made. So same thing, Falcon Blade and apply some pressure.
Yeah, I'd say that too, yeah. Same thing.
Okay.
If you feel like you need to be up in their face, and the way that Lena does it is just by ramming it down their throats, then you need mana and like stats, like mana, damage, and HP. That's why Falcon Blade's so good for that.
Okay.
Awesome, man. Any other questions?
No. That's
Sweet.
it.
I'm gonna boot you. Okay, guys. I think there were some good questions today. Thanks for joining me for class today. That's gonna be it for now. And I will see you guys back in class on Sunday. If you guys weren't there for last Sunday's class or yesterday's class, God, why am I totally spacing on what we were talking about yesterday? Oh, we were talking about going for kills in the early to mid game, and I asked people questions for, you know, whether to rotate or not and why. A lot, especially when your teammates are like losing their lanes or you're losing your lane and you're wondering like, what do I do with this in terms of like being active in the game? So if you guys have questions for that type of stuff, that's what next Sunday is going to be about, and you're welcome to submit them, but I'm also going to be just presenting some of my own thoughts. So letting you guys know that's what Sunday will be about. And I'll hopefully see you guys there. Have a good week. Bye, guys. I'm going to go give a quick hug to my girlfriend because she just got back from traveling. We do have another coaching session in 5 minutes. I'll be right back, guys. Ooh. Okay. How's chat doing? We got another coaching session in just a few minutes here. 420 Jenkins subscribed. Collaboration request. What is that? Yeah, put my headphones on. Hello? Have I ever coached a 9K player? Not for a long time. I coached Sammy Boy a while back. But not for a while. If you want to sign up for the Dojo Plus free trial, you can submit a question to the class. I'd be happy to go over it with you. Jenkins sees me as a threat. I'm leaving the collaboration because he's just not here. As the Treant World Champion, I can confirm the hero's not that good right now. His only good use is the good old 5 with a range carry. And a 4 courier killing machine. Thank you, Sam QJ. You bet it was Grubby impersonating Jenkins? The irony. What do you think about Omni this patch? I haven't seen him in my games. Do you know about Umbrella Dota 2 hacks? I do not. Hey, BSJ, no supers? Would love to drop you a bit of coin for all the years of me viewing. I don't even know what supers are. I would guess that for a 9K player, coaching would be more oriented into decision-making and mood stuff. Yeah, I think a lot of the higher you go, it's much more mental and nuanced shit. And overarching approach to the game. I'd be curious to know how much I can help a player 9K with a brief 10-minute feedback. I've noticed they've found a way to bug your mouse. Really? Okay, I got a coaching session. Lucas from a VIP. Oh, it's KT Kid. Very cool. I actually need to talk to I need to get this match. Hey, sorry about that. I know the stage is there for a reason, but had troubles in the past, so.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Sweet. Okay, let me I just came off a class, so I need to orient myself to this session here. I have your notes. So you were playing mid for a while, and I think I've seen you play carry. How long have you been playing carry for?
I always switch between them.
Ah, okay. That makes
And
sense.
right now I play only safe lane since this year. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I remember I was seeing you play like Invoker and stuff.
Yeah. I'm definitely more confident on mid.
Gotcha. Okay. So, looking at your notes, why are you here today? Looks like you are really close to Immortal and you are looking to break the 50-50 win rate.
Yeah, I don't understand what is about 50-50.
Are
What
you
this mean?
are you saying that you feel like what do you not understand about it?
Literally everything. Like for me, when I speak to Jacob, I was like, I don't care about winning, just about improving. I didn't speak about 50-50 thing.
Oh, okay, that must be a misunderstanding in the notes. Okay. Oh, yes. You having less time in Dota, so you want to be more intentional about your time when you do it.
Yeah.
And then your general goal for the session is to achieve a specific question to ask yourself to improve on your weaknesses. Yeah, I think we can always give at least one question. I try to go for at least 1, 2, or 3, ideally, if we can get there. Do you want to start with the replay that you sent me, the Spectre one, or is there a different one you want to start with?
Actually, it's pretty funny because I was listening to the Dojo live class, the record.
Yeah.
And I send you a replay about Luna. And you found out one of my weaknesses is about I have some struggle to concentrate, and I feel like I miss so much information on the map. So I was wondering, this replay might be the same, but I didn't pay attention about it. And I think it's one of my common mistakes on every game any hero has a hard carry play.
Okay.
So I guess we can watch this game because I'm really curious if I missed something on that. The problem with this game is I wanted to fight a lot, but I communicate a lot also. And I said to my teammate, go fight, go fight, go fight. And yeah, they didn't answer me, but I should pay more attention about what they are doing in real time. And most of the time when I do this, I struggle on what I'm doing. Like I'm not good for doing multiple things in the same time.
How often would you say you're concentrating on like what your team is doing? Like meaning like I think they should be doing this, or I'd like them to be doing this, stuff like that. Like hypothetical stuff.
Can you repeat?
Yeah. I'm wondering it may be the answer may be 0. I'm just wondering how often you think about the things your teammates like should be doing or that you want them to be doing.
Usually I think about it in the drafting. Then I don't pay attention. And when I have timing, I will pay attention to them.
I see. Gotcha. Yeah.
So maybe 50%.
Gotcha. Okay. Start to the lane.
I miss so much.
Yeah, just not the greatest CSing. Pretty much the only thing we can say so far, which adds up a lot.
Feels really bad.
Spectre is pretty awful at level 1 though.
Yeah, Spectre have no damage. And I take no damage items.
Yeah, so what's interesting that I've noticed in Dota in general is that when you have this situation happen right here, So this creep is effectively you being held hostage on it. That's how I look at this creep. So when this creep starts getting hit, right now, they are holding you hostage. So what that means is that if you want this creep, you have to be close enough to it to walk up to it and last hit it by the time it's going to die, right? So what happens here is that if you are like, this is something that most 5K players are like very aware of, right? So what good 5K players will do is the second you walk forward, they're just going to pull the creeps off like this. When they do that, that means you're allowed to back off. Because the timer in which this is going to take to die has now been drastically extended because he's pulling these creeps off. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
So this is a situation where as long as we're aware we're being held hostage because of the time that this creep is going to die, the second that they defensive aggro off of it or pull creeps off of it, we are now supposed to back off. Then what prevents is us walking up, taking like 3 right clicks, using a spell, and missing the last hit. Like, it's really important to avoid using spells to get out of a bad situation. Do you see what I mean? You're like, I'm locked onto this creep. I need to get this. I need to use my dagger to get out of here faster. It's much more impactful to notice these situations, what creates them, and then not get ourselves in the situation. So that happens every time there's a range creep. And there's like a little dance that you're going to be playing with the opponent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, just something. First thing I've noticed. Let's keep going. You seem to AFK a lot, like where you're just literally standing still. Wonder if you know what's going on there. Okay, you get a kill. Okay. Okay. So there's like a clear... So the way I'm thinking here is that I need to be... When people die in lane, I want the lane to look the way that I want it to look by the time that they're alive. So that either means that I'm keeping the lane equilibrium close to my tower, or I push it out and then go pull, or that I defensive aggro so that I'm not fighting them when the guy is alive. So, like, this is a moment where I'm thinking, like, why is he not defensive aggroing? Why is he out here still? Because Disruptor's respawning. Like, that's what I'm thinking. And then you defensive aggro, and what I would want you to do here is then defensive aggro again, like right now. But this is all because Disruptor's respawning. And so then we just kind of CS casually. And then we die. I'm gonna keep working on it because you said like you're struggling to pick up information, so or like pay attention to information in the game. So this is like a perfect. This is the first example of, you know, every time in lane somebody dies, I'm consciously trying to think, what is their respawn timer, and do I want to fight them or not? And so if I don't want to fight them, then what am I doing? Am I defensive aggroing? Am I pushing the lane and pulling? Like, what are my options? And I just try to make sure I'm consciously choosing to be in a fight or not by the time that they respawn and come back to lane. So that's number 1. Let's keep going. There is so much random AFKing by you. Is this just like busy or keyboard malfunction?
This is not a good. I was not. I was sick. Actually, I don't know how to translate it. there is a problem in my house, and I was sick.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well, we're not going to worry about it too
I
much.
was not totally focused on the game.
I see. I would say to you then, based on just preliminarily, that I think one of the first questions I would ask anybody who tells me that they're struggling to gather information is how often would you say that you are able to dedicate 100% of your focus in the middle of a Dota game?
Actually, I don't know.
Like, how often would you say you play in this, like, maybe this is like an extreme example where you're very distracted, but like, how often would you say you play distracted?
Oh, it's not usually the case.
Okay. So this isn't a common problem?
Oh no, it's not a common problem.
Okay. Just checking in. Okay. Question. Why did you decide to TB bottom here?
I think it's autopilot. Just that.
So what is
Not,
your goal in the game right now?
getting creeps, lane on the creeps.
Okay. So
I just want to stay on lane as much as I can.
Your goal is to get creeps.
Yeah.
So to get creeps, we want to be ideally in a lane, and we want to be away from our teammates because teammates take creeps, right?
Yeah. Yeah, mid is better, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't have too much else to say than I ask people this question and they give some sort of, I want to stay in lane, this is my lane, that kind of stuff. And I just tell them your goal is to get creeps, and to get creeps, you need to be away from teammates. So if your goal is to get creeps, you need to find a lane away from teammates.
That's something I usually do. I think I was too much distracted this game.
Okay.
But actually, I didn't even remember the Zeus was here.
I'll tell you for coaching's sake, because I want you to get the most out of your hour. If the reason that you're going to do this stuff in this game is because you're distracted, I don't think I'm going to be able to help you very much. Because the majority of mistakes, if I'm not like upset or anything, it's just like I can't help you very much if that's the reason. Because then my answer is don't be distracted. So so my question is, would you like to move to a different game where you feel like you were more locked in, and there's going to be a different reason, or what would you like to do? I can also just skip past every mistake that you think is distraction, but there's only so much I can teach you there, because then we're just going to be filtering through mistakes. Is what I feel like. Up to you. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to best give you most impactful hour.
I don't take it personally. I don't know. Maybe we can, because this game was a lot about this. But I picked this one because it's a lose, if I remember.
Yeah.
It was close game.
Would you like me to just keep watching the game? That's fine too.
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so we're farming up the radiance. Yeah, for me, we're either consciously investing in being strong, or we are not trying to do strong things. So, like, for me, trying to solo kill somebody is like a strong thing.
Yeah.
So, my thought for you is you're either buying like a Falcon Blade or like an Urn and TPing base with full health, full mana, and then using an item that helps you kill the guy, or you just farm. So for me, you're building to farm and then trying to fight. So I always draw attention to when people's builds don't line up with what they're doing in the game. If you let me have a question, let me know. I'll keep going otherwise.
Yeah, I feel like when I have ulti, I should use it. even if I don't go with the mate.
Why is that? Like, what is your thought about that? Like, why? I guess elaborate is what I'm asking. Tell me more.
Okay. So most of the time, I don't like to be like just farming. I want to be still useful with my teammates.
I see.
So I feel really bad when I look at the map right now. I'm just behind, not on lanes, just farming the woods. I don't like this, even if I should do this.
Then
So
why are
I
you
always
playing
try.
Spectre, rushing a Radiance? That seems
Yeah.
like a playstyle mismatch, my friend.
Yes, I agree, and that's why I struggle on safe lane. I try to search something I fit about.
So you like
And
to have early to mid game presence in the game, is what you're saying?
I think it's more for me, yes.
Okay. Then I will
But
tell
when
you.
it didn't work, I feel more bad.
Okay. I mean, I can relate to this. I'm not much of a hard farmer hero myself.
Yeah.
I mean, then if you're looking to be more active and you're talking about finding a comfortable hero pool for you, then Spectre rushing a Radiance is about the complete opposite of that. So, you know, I would just say that I
Even
understand.
with Earn,
Go ahead.
it's the same, I think.
What?
I think even with Earn or like Sid Falcon Blade, it's the same.
Yeah,
It's
what
not
I'm
that
saying
big.
though is like if I'm trying to be active in the game, I'm going to buy items that allow me to be active, and if I'm buying items that don't allow me to be active, then I'm not going to be active. So, you know, for me, I'm looking at the like. It's funny because so many people try to act like Dota is just like a numbers game and stuff. It's mainly an emotional game, and I hear people making mistakes because they're saying I just felt bad not doing anything there, and then I'm like, okay, well, we need to learn why you felt bad. So for me, it does feel bad to not be active in the game, but then the reason why for me that this type of stuff feels bad is because I don't understand why I'm consciously doing it. Like I'm not choosing consciously to do it. So then it feels wrong. But when I'm like, okay, I'm a late game carry and I'm rushing Radiance, it's okay if I'm not doing anything in the game right now. And then I might still haunt and kill a guy, but it's not for like a solo kill. It's like, oh, the guy has like 200 HP and it's like a free quick kill real quick. But it's for me, the concern is that you feel bad by playing the hero the way that you built it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
Now, we can adjust by giving you a different hero pool and building different items. Like, that's fine too. But I also think that that's kind of running away from the problem to like some degree.
Yeah, I agree.
So like I'd rather, you know, talk about why it feels bad to not have any impact, because that's kind of the nature of Dota, right? Is the less impact you have early, the more implied impact you'll have later. Like that's kind of like, you know, the nature of Dota. So Inspector has been reverted effectively to a late game carry. So you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is I can understand why you feel bad, and not to be dismissive, but you also have no reason to feel bad, right? Like, meaning you're playing the hero according to how it's meant to be played to some degree. So, I guess that's just food for thought. If you have questions or thoughts about that, I'm happy to discuss more. But, you know, for me, that's the concern when I hear what you're saying. Yeah, but right now you've resumed farming. You're playing chill. You're gonna go to lane, finish your Radiance. You're gonna. What are you doing here? Okay, you're asking for the wave. Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe I have this problem because I'm not playing Spectre that much. And I don't have the feeling of I should not do that right now in this way.
Yeah, you might be accustomed to being active in the mid game, so you feel off by adjusting to specifically Spectre. That could definitely, I can relate to that. I think that could definitely explain it. I understand. I mean, this is just another one of those circumstances where you're trying to aggressively bully a guy on the map before your timing. It's like, I understand Ricky's there, but like this is just kind of the price you pay for having the items you have. And we just have to be careful of over participating.
I don't know. In this specific situation, I don't know what to do with my position. I maybe I should just farm the small camp on the river.
So, your goal is to hit creeps, right? So you're hitting creeps, your teammates come join you, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go bottom because there's a wave down there. The problem is that you have a guy down there that's farming. So for me, what I would do right now is I'd go hit these two camps because they're camps that are right next to me. And then I would farm backwards to these two camps. And
That's funny because you said someone's farming here. I was not aware of that. That right now I'm aware, but during the game I was not. I was thinking about he wanted to wait someone to kill, not farming. Do you see what I mean?
So are you saying you're trying to connect to him to kill, or are you saying that because you think he's trying to kill, that if you're trying to farm, you're going to take the wave? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think when I was on the game, I saw the creeps, but not my teammates. Not checking what he's doing.
I see.
So I was just like, I will say I was brain dead, just wanting to eat creeps. And like I said, I should take more information in real time.
Yeah, then it sounds like this is the similar thing to what I pointed out in your Luna replay, right? Like,
yeah.
This is the same problem. So
Yeah.
going into this game, you told me you were distracted, like in this particular game. And
yeah, here is not about distraction.
Yeah, it's just a common problem, right? Like this is not unique to this game. So I guess ignoring the distractions that are happening in this given game, what is generally going through your head at this moment in the game?
I cannot say honestly because it's too far away.
Like you don't remember, you mean, or?
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
I think I think really I was just wanted to eat waves. I didn't think about the map overhaul.
The way that I try to explain things to people is that we all have like an instinct, right? We all have like a Dota instinct that we've trained over time. And that instinct, if not honed over time, that's how we get to a static state. But like obviously you have like a 5k level instinct. Like that's pretty good, right? So if you're not consciously trying to think about something you've never thought about before, you're a solid 5k player, and that's going to be good enough for that, right? So the way I try to describe things, and maybe you've heard it before since you've been in my classes and stuff, it's like we need to give you something to think about that you're not currently thinking about. And so for me, if you're farming, definitely to be like above 5k, you have to be aware of where your teammates are. Like this is definitely really important because the game becomes a puzzle of not only where is the farm that's most available that I want, but also where are my teammates. So the last thing we ever want in Dota is for two cores to be sitting right next to each other when they're both trying to farm. That's like really inefficient. And whenever I see cores on the map, if I'm trying to farm, then I don't want to be near them even if they are going for a kill, because I don't want to be there either. So it doesn't really matter like what their intention is, right? Like it doesn't matter really what they're trying to do in the game. It's just that if I'm trying to fight, I'm trying to go towards my teammates most of the time. Maybe Spectre's different, of course, because of Haunt and everything. But If I'm trying not to fight, then I try to stay away from my teammates. So I either view them as magnets that are pulling me towards them because I want to fight, or magnets that are like repelling me. So like right now, as I'm trying to farm, I'm thinking of my teammates like repel magnets. So like they're going this way, so I'm going to go this way. And I see this guy down here, so it's like these two camps are here, then these two camps are going to be here. Nobody's over here, nobody's taking mid-wave if this continues to push in. Like that's like I'm thinking about where they aren't, because we don't want to be near our teammates when we're farming. And that's like probably one of the most crucial things. And this is like a very black and white situation, meaning like there are times where you're kind of able to fight, but you're also farming. In this case, you're like a Spectre, 1,000 gold off Radiance, don't have Haunt. This is like a very black and white. We don't want to be fighting right now. And if we don't want to be fighting right now, then what I'm trying to explain is that if you walk towards teammates, you're inevitably going to get baited into shit like this. Right here. Because you're just near teammates. Like, that's it. You're just going to be likely to be fighting when you aren't really consciously thinking about it. So I don't really care about this individual decision. It's the putting yourself near your teammates when you're trying to farm. So I know that you're saying you're not even aware that the Zeus was there. Like you're not consciously noticing that he's there. So it's not like an intentional thing for you to go be near Zeus. But so what I'm looking at is your core issue is when you are looking to farm, our goal is not creeps. Like, so like right now your priority is I want to hit creeps. So I'm going to go to the creeps that are like most efficient. That's like what you're thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you are looking to farm, current perspective, so like current goal, go to most efficient creeps. A lot of times, the way that I've been explaining... Okay, have you ever played Slay the Spire?
No.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain it to you in a relevant way, though. So do you know what the game is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard about.
Okay, so it's like a deck builder, and every time you beat it, you unlock a new difficulty. And what the difficulty does is like, oh, the enemies have slightly more health, or the enemies have slightly more damage, or items you want to buy cost a bit more. And the whole thing about that game is as you advance in the difficulties, you are trying to replicate the exact same thing with constraints, right? It's like, oh, I now have to be more careful with what I spend money on. Oh, now I have to be a bit more defensive because they do more damage, but I still have to beat them. Do you see what I mean? It's like adding a constraint as you up the difficulty. And that's actually how I view Dota past like 2K. 2K, you're basically like up until about 2K, we're teaching people like, here's the fundamentals of Dota. At around 2K, there's no like hard cutoff, but around 2K, I'm now telling you, you're trying to replicate the same thing you were doing before, but we need to add a constraint to what you're doing. So in your example, you're trying to be efficient. You're trying to get creeps to farm your Radiance. I'm now telling you the constraint is stay away from your teammates. Does that make sense?
Okay, got it. Yeah, totally.
Okay. So right now, your current goal is to go for the most efficient creeps. Added constraint. Stay away from teammates when in mode farm. So you now have to think, what creeps are the most efficient that are not near teammates? So then when you check a creep wave, thinking, I'm going to go farm that, we need to add a second check, effectively, that says, is there a teammate there, or is there a teammate going there? You know, like if Zeus was like farming right here and then walking to this camp, it's like the same thing. You're like yoinking his farm because he's like naturally farming his way there. Do you see what I mean?
No.
Okay. So if you're farming but you were top right here. Right now, it's not. This is maybe like a step too far, but like what I'm trying to show you is these guys are all walking this way, right? This guy is walking this way. You see that?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
means this area is off limits. That means this area is off limits, like because that's near teammates. That's where they're going.
Yeah.
So it's not just physically where they are, but you can also pay attention to where they're going. So like this, like basically I look at this and I'm thinking this area is not where I want to farm because this guy's doing this. This area is not where I want to farm because this guy's doing this. So I'm trying to elaborate a bit on how you want to view your teammates. So like right now, I see them all walking that way. I see nobody walking towards these camps. So I think right now your two options are these camps or these camps because there's nobody walking to either of these. Right?
I think triangle is better.
Yeah, it could be. If I'm looking at progress for you, if you go to any camp that's not with teammates, that's a win. Like, you know,
Okay.
I trust your 5K instinct to adjust over time, meaning like you'll choose the more optimal play because that's what you've been doing, right? You've learned to be an efficient farmer. So we're just adding the constraint of, okay, out of all of the options that don't have a teammate there, what is the most efficient? And I do agree in this exact instance, when I rewind it, it actually is better for you to go Ancients right now.
I think it's a good way for me to pay attention more.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the goal that I'm trying to show people is that it's a change in playstyle, but it's like a tweak to what you're doing, but it's not a huge difference, but it's going to have massive implications because if you're like with the way you're playing right now, you're going to kind of subconsciously find yourself in fights you don't want to be in.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if you're strong and you want to fight, what may end up happening in some of your games is that you're farming away from your team when you're not really thinking about it. So the opposite is when you want to fight. So like I'm just going to put in the notes here. You know,
Yeah, I have to be close to them.
yeah, when you want to fight, look I'll just say look to farm in a way that connects you to them. So like in this example, say you wanted to fight, then I would farm these two camps and then go through the portal. Or I would walk like this.
My portal?
Yeah, I'm saying like, okay, if you want to fight with Zeus, you would do these two camps and then go through portal. If you want to fight with these guys, then I would walk over here and farm this camp and then probably farm these two camps when they respawn, and I'm just near these guys. Do you see what I mean? Like, I'm just near them. I'm still farming, though. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just a point of, like, where, you know, in the class that I just did, the Ursa was #1 net worth, and he had, like, Blink, Basher, Battle Fury. All of his teammates had their cooldowns, and he TP'd away from them to farm somewhere else. That's, like, the opposite problem of what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. And he was a similar rank. He was like 4,500 or something. So like similar-ish rank. So yeah, it's about instituting this like consciously near our teammates or away from our teammates. And so we're just adding that layer for you. And it's a pretty complex layer in the sense that there's a lot to it, but basically how I try to explain it is you needed to be an efficient farmer without this layer to be able to now have this layer. Does that make to like be good enough to have this problem? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any questions or
we can maybe you want to go more about this game?
We can go to a different game if you'd like. Otherwise, I'm happy to fast forward through more of this game. What would you like?
Because I think that's pretty okay. A lot of work just doing that.
What's up?
But there is yeah. Sorry for my English.
It's fine.
Just the thing you explained me, like being close to my mates when I want to fight, or being out of my mates when I want to farm. This is a huge one for me, I guess. But the next step is I struggle as carry to know, even with heroes I play a lot, I struggle to know right now I'm strong, I want to fight.
Okay. Is that something you're
And,
wanting to watch a different game for? Or are you wanting to fast forward in this game? What would you like to do to help with that question?
I mean, in this game, with Spectre, I feel like even with Radiance, I still don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, so oftentimes, do you want me to watch this? I can watch this game somewhat on fast forward and tell you when I would want to fight. Does that sound like a good way to help?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, I'm going to kind of give you my perspective based on that lens of when you want to fight or not and why. So we're going to fast forward through this part because we already saw it. We're going to get to our Radiance. Generally speaking, with Radiance, it enables us to show up to fights, but we still would rather be farming. That's how... Yeah.
It's more about farming items.
Yeah. Radiance is a lot about accelerating us to the next item, so you're going to retreat farm. That works for me. You're going to do some shit there. You're going to probably go left. I'm definitely in... Oh, you went right. Interesting. So this is a moment where we always want to get the maximum amount of camps per minute. So like right now, like out of each minute mark. So right now, I could probably make it to this camp in time. It's at least close. So I would go to these two camps and then come back to these two camps. Like that's what I would be doing right now. But then you walk.
I was thinking about the lane bot. Yeah.
I actually don't hate that. That's fine. So you then Radiance and okay. You know what? I'm fine with what you just did.
This TP might be bad.
Interestingly enough, you tell me you really like lane creeps that are available. Look at the lanes. This would be, I would love to see, so when you're low resources, I want you to think that your goal is to start as far up on the map as possible and then farm backwards. Because the last thing we want to do is be walking towards them when we're low. So if you were full HP here, it might be better that you TP here and run out like this and let one of your like low HP, low resources heroes take this one. Does that make sense?
Okay. That makes sense, but for me, going mid is more dangerous than going bot.
Nah, it's about walking forward and walking back. That's all it is. See? You walked forwards. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I should have not TP, or I should just farming back like on the top river.
Okay, so your current perspective, as I understand it, is certain areas of the map are more dangerous than others. You just told me that mid lane is dangerous. That's what you think, right?
Yeah.
Walking, so current perspective, okay, wait, regarding danger levels of areas, that's like the subject, current perspective, certain areas are more dangerous than others. We're going to flip that to a new perspective. Walking towards them is dangerous. Walking away from them is safer. So TPing here and then walking like this is safer than TPing here and walking like this. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions about that?
Nope.
So a lot of times the things you say, like the perspectives that people have are rooted in truth. On average, mid lane is more dangerous than bottom lane. That is something you've learned over time. There is truth to it. Okay? So it's not like that's just wrong. We are now like one thing that is a way of leveling up your MMR is to add constraints to things you're doing. So that means like factoring in your teammates or opponent heroes and stuff like this. But another way is to enhance something that's already correct to cover more circumstances accurately. So I would say, for instance, 80 to 90% of the time, mid lane is more dangerous than bottom lane. Right? It's a large percentage. But in general, like 97% of the time, it's more dangerous to walk forward on the map than it is to walk backwards. So that's like a more accurate way to do the same thing. Does that make sense?
That's really interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's always important, and I in the past I haven't been the best at reminding people or making sure assuring them of this. There is truth in what you're saying. It's going to be correct some percentage of the time. So I just need to give you something that's more correct a more percent of the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Let's go on to the next part here. Your team is fighting. You don't have ult, so we're being chillin'. You're looking at the fight. You're bullying PA out. I can actually see what you were doing here. I think you thought you were like, that's just a matchup thing. And I think the time you died to him first kind of led to the second one. That's not as much about team fighting or not. That's a separate thing of how do I match up against heroes on the map. It looked like you thought you could bully him and then he killed you. So that's just a misgauge of the matchup. And that just takes time to learn. So like right here, since I'm Spectre and I want to fight, I would actually, be purposely farming away from my teammates. What's interesting here is by you not farming away from your teammates, meaning you have TP scroll available and there's 2 heroes dead, by not farming over here, it's actually going to create one of your teammates going over there because there needs to be some sort of balance on the map of how many heroes are farming where. So by you never going here, somebody else is going to go there. That's just what's going to happen. So sometimes maybe you feel like it's too dangerous to go there because PA has been killing you, which if that's the case, then it just is what it is. I'm just letting you know that if you don't go there away from your teammates, because Spectre specifically is a bit different. You actually want to go away from your teammates when you want to fight because you have Haunt. But, it's if you didn't have Haunt and you do want to fight, then, this wouldn't apply. But for the record, what's the common theme here? I'm actually going to save this timestamp. Give me a second here. It's been a very common theme. Setting up. Looking to be able to fight. There we go. Give me a second. I'm going to extend your coaching session by the time it takes me to do this. 26 minutes.
Yeah, don't worry.
And then I just need to I'm mind palacing right now. Just 1 second here. Okay. So what I've been trying to tell people is that there's a big difference. So you're talking about, your question you asked me was, you mentioned that you don't really know like when you want to fight, right? And so my question for you right now, let's ignore wanting to fight. Let's change this question to, are you able to fight? Like, would you have a non-zero amount of impact in fights right now?
No.
I think by you pressing Haunt, that's some sort of impact.
That's huge. Yeah.
Right? So with that in mind, we want to be doing things. If we are strong enough to be able to fight, like whatever our ability cooldowns are, we would be thinking, if there was a fight that happened right now, I wouldn't be fucking useless. Like, that's how I think about it, right? Rather than, I want to fight right now. There's a big difference. And the majority of the time in the game that I think people are making mistakes are when they could fight, but they aren't enabling themselves to be able to fight. So an example here is on Spectre, you would TP away from your team, because if you don't farm away from your team, somebody else is going to go clear the lane. and then your team can't group up now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because if I'm out and they are together, then I can ulti. We are 5 to fight.
Yeah, because like, so imagine you swap with Zeus right now. You're here, and he like walked through bottom, and he's like farming these camps.
Yeah.
Right? Suddenly,
that
there's like
makes
a
so much
fight that
sense.
happens here. You know, like a 5v5 that you guys set up, or maybe you guys go Roche or something because whatever. Just the point is there's the ability to BS5, and every hero has like a different role in this, right? Meaning like every game, every hero has a different role in this. And it's just a matter of that's the formula we're trying to solve. How do we make it happen? And so obviously in your case, Spectre's very nuanced. You would actually, go there. It's like if you were Luna, what you would have done while Zeus was dead. Say you guys are ready to fight. If you were Luna right now, you would TP top right now. You would summon Manta, send it down the lane, and then you would farm like this.
Gates. Oh, okay.
Like you would just go back towards your team. Do you see what I mean?
I will have take the gates.
So the thing is by going this way, you're telling me that whoever you run into over here, you're fine. If that's the case, then that's fine. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So that is a more dangerous route. So that's just game dependent. But honestly, because he's dead for 26 seconds, I want to take my sweet ass time. Like I'm not looking to be back with my team like TP here, 5 seconds later, go through the gate and be with my team. I'm looking to be with my team in 26 seconds. Do you see what I mean? Not even, it's more like 35 seconds because he still has to like get out of base and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I'm just giving an example of every hero will do this differently, but there's just a formula for when my teammates are dead, when we're able to fight. Let's just make it so we can.
This is something I will try to put in every hero I play.
Yeah, awesome. Fantastic. I'd be curious to see how it goes. Let's keep going. So yeah, what sucks here is that we could fight, but then Zeus is like top and we're bottom with our team and we're the global guy. Yeah, so this feels bad as Spectre to be like near the team and Zeus is just not. That feels really awful. So this is like a predictably bad thing that's going to happen, right? Just based on what I was saying earlier. It's so
after what we say, that's pretty predictable.
Yeah, so the goal is to draw awareness to this type of stuff so that when it happens, you can learn from it. You're like, oh, why were we 4v5 there? And then you could, whenever that happens to you, where you're like, I feel like we should have had more heroes, or I feel like that fight should have gone better. Like, you don't even have to know why. That just means if you feel that way, rewind 5 minutes. Or 3 minutes, or 2 minutes, and just kind of watch your own map movements and look for a moment where you might have made it difficult for your team to group up. Do you see what I mean?
No, I didn't get that.
Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say is when you end up in these awkward fights, like that one, where you lost it, there's often going to be a time where if you go back in the game, that you missed an opportunity to allow your team to group up. In this case, it was by TPing top such that Zeus could go bottom.
Oh, you mean if I watch the replay?
Yeah, I'm saying watch the replay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, not in the middle of the game. Yeah. No. I'm saying that for you to learn from this meaningfully, the vibe check you need to have in the game is like, I feel like we should have had more heroes there. Or like, I feel like we should have been ready for that. Or like, I feel like we weren't ready for that. Something like that. And I can guarantee you something happened in there, and it was potentially you that made that difficult. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, and so I try to teach people that there's a time for learning. During the game, we just need to have you detect things. We don't need you to learn this shit in the game. And then you learn it by, like, reviewing it afterwards. I detected this. What did I see? That kind of stuff. And it makes it so it's
really better.
What's up?
This fight feels really better.
Yeah, because they were all together and you were on the opposite side of the map. And, yeah, Spectre things. A lot better. Okay. Keep going here. So yeah, we're farming backwards. There's a wave. We're being efficient. We're getting the next wave. We're going to keep farming away from our team. Fantastic. Ultra efficient farming. We love it. We're going to keep working our way towards bottom lane. Keep going. Going to go to the maybe bottom of the map. This is a little scary because we're walking forward on the map right now. See, this is really scary. You had Haunt. So like right now...
I want to go top.
No, what I'm saying to you is that you're the worst target to get gone on ever, right? Because you're the guy that saves the guy that gets gone on, or like counter initiates the guy that gets gone on, right? So I want you to see that on the map right now, you're vulnerable to getting ganked. Like if they were ganking, they could just be killing you right now. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So in this case, I would have, rather than you going from here to here, I would have wanted you to go from here, like over here, and then back. The difference here, when you're asking me how do I know where to go, don't walk forwards when you don't see anybody. So like right now, they all went missing just now.
So I'll just go back.
So you just need to walk backwards. And the backwards is not defined as towards your base or not. It's defined as where did you last see them? Walk the opposite direction. So you last saw them here. So if we draw, we do some geometry, we draw a straight line like over here, then your line would be like this. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how we avoid unnecessary deaths when we don't want to be the target of ganks. This is an example where it looks like they didn't kill you. But it's important. It's like possible, right?
Yeah, it's possible.
So, okay, you killed the disruptor. Fantastic. BKBs are running low. Oh, satanic. Yikes. Okay, nice kiting. And well played, well played. Okay. And now you're going to TP top. I believe in you. TP top. TP top. No. Oh, no. Not this. Oh, my God. Oh, man. So, I understand.
It's a shame.
I'm just telling
No,
you,
it's a shame.
even if you're full HP, just look at this, man. Oh, it's so juicy. This guy's dead for 70 seconds. If you really want the Tormentor, just do this and go back to the Tormentor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a shame.
It's just the creep waves. It's all the creep. Like, I honestly didn't even consider Tormentor. It's just creep waves. So it's like, it's a blasphemy that there's fucking 4 range creeps dying underneath tower here.
It's bad watching this.
Yeah. The thing is that I get that, like, maybe if Veno was there, we would have killed it. But for me, it's so funny. Like, I just know when you ignore that creep wave that bad things are going to happen. Like, I just know it. Like, it's just like, there's a creep wave. So go kill it. Number 1 objective in the game, creep waves. Okay, wait, what happened here? Maybe a bit of impatience. What occurred here? Okay.
I think it's this.
So the thing is, earlier you asked about, I don't really know when I want to fight or not, right? You said that?
Yeah.
Guess what? It's super simple. Can your team be as 5 right now?
No.
Can their team, based on your information that you have, be as 5 right now?
I think they can.
The only hero you see is Dawnbreaker, and that's a global hero.
She can ulti, yeah.
So, is this a good fight? No. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
I mean, that's simple, but this is not something I think about every time.
What I'm trying to tell you, man, is that answer will naturally come by you getting better at purposely going towards teammates or away from them. Like, it will just eventually be answered for you. That's what I'm trying to show you. I'm not trying to expect you to understand this live in a game right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but how can I say that? I agree, because what you say makes sense, and this is something I feel about before.
Yeah.
Just putting words on it make it really more sense and useful.
Yeah, awesome, man. No, that's I mean, that's exactly what we're going for. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you can consider trying to contest them at Roche. I've just learned when they're able to BS5 and we're not able to BS5, it just feels awful. And it sucks that like Venomancer, wasn't there, but this guy's also super farmed. He's got like a Shiva.
The worst part on this, I think I was mad because Venom was not there.
Yeah. It's understandable. This guy is messing up. Let's be frank. He's messing up. He's playing top half of the map when Roche is alive. We need to be very clear that he's messing up, okay?
Yeah, but me too.
But exactly. But you're not responding to his mess up correctly. And that's what makes us better Dota players. So yeah, I'm glad you seem to have a good read on that. And it's just important that we acknowledge, like, yeah, he is fucking up. It is frustrating. We wish he would just be a Roche. But yeah. Okay. Okay, that was pretty nice moves. Yeah, at that point. Looks just tough at this point. PA seems out of control.
Yeah. PA, yeah. That's why I go all of these items. Just focused on, because I feel I can kill everyone, expecting Bristle and maybe Dawnbreaker, but PA just the target to kill, and we have nothing.
Yeah, I haven't played too much of Spectre since they like reverted her back to Haunt Spectre. I just think that naturally, like in the past when she was Haunt Spectre, Bloodthorn wasn't really an item on her. Like she bought it when she was the the low cooldown, whatever it's called, reality or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
So I guess I would just like to say that if I'm envisioning scaling on Spectre, and I may be wrong, so just take it with a grain of salt, I would think of it through durability and stats, just for my illusions and like making my haunt more impactful. So, something like, Scotty, Butterfly, Basher, stuff like this. I just think...
Why,
Go ahead.
why those items make the illusions stronger?
What I'm trying to say is that there was a period of time where Spectre was a low cooldown hunt heroes thing, and this item is only good a very small percentage of the game. You're ulting once every 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes.
Yeah,
and there's like that split second that it's killing a disruptor, right? So if you think of an
So
item
you
like...
feel like Tarask or Skadi.
Yeah, just generally stat-based items that make you better at like man fighting, and like if say like remember how you died to PA on the map earlier?
Yeah.
Like that's more what your hero is doing. And I know that was like really early, so that's like it's not an exact example, but I guess what I'm trying to say is with the old build where your ultimate was like a 50-second cooldown or whatever, it was like 40 seconds. Bloodthorn made a lot of sense because at any given moment in the game, you threaten somebody who's by themselves and they can't play in that way anymore. But with this, with the reverting it back to Haunt, I just think the amount of... It's like Bloodthorn might be good, but it's like a 5th item. Like a 6th item. Rather than a 3rd item. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think that with heroes like Spectre, I just want you to notice that the majority of the game, you're playing the map. Like, that's you're just farming, you're going from wave to wave, you're dying to Tormentor. You know what I mean?
Okay, I agree.
I'm just giving you shit about dying to Tormentor. But the point is that, yeah, a lot of time in Dota, we want to cater to what we're doing the majority of the time. And that's why I'm saying like generally stat items on Spectre, because you might even like threaten to kill a PA if you have stat items and then like an MKB later, as opposed to Bloodthorn, which is better against the non-BKB supports and stuff. And obviously the PA was like a pretty huge problem in this game. I think she's just way more net worth than you now, yeah. It's really interesting because the net worth chart, like this doesn't look nearly as bad as I think the game state says, because you guys just have like this super rich support Veno, which kind of like skews the numbers. Oh, that guy died though. Sick. Okay, we're kind of back. Gonna go out on the map. So remember, we want to be farming backwards by the time they're alive. So I would still be going forwards here and then backwards. Okay, good. Great. Yeah. Up forwards here is a little scary, but we see them, so that's fine.
I put the scan.
Yeah, you scanned. It was good.
That's I don't remember.
Yeah, but somebody scanned, but the scan helped. Okay. I don't know if you're saving buyback, but you definitely need to just buy an item here. I'd be detecting like PA's way more farm than me, and I just need to buy an item. Okay, you bought it. Okay, so
Yeah,
you are going Scotty and Butterfly and stuff. So it's clearly you. Okay, nice.
She buyback it.
Ah, yeah, the buyback. You bought back. Nice. Oh,
Yeah,
that guy
but
they just what the
not
fuck?
enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we just go in the different order here, so the way I look at it is because of the nature of Spectre's Haunt, if you go Scotty, Butterfly, then Bloodthorn, it's a better build than Bloodthorn, Scotty, Butterfly. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I will try.
Okay. It's just in general, like, I just want you to think whatever hero you're playing, what are you doing the majority of the game? And if you're predominantly hunting people, then Bloodthorn's a great item. It's like an example is PL like second or third item, or like third or fourth item Bloodthorn, because once he's tanky enough to run at people, he can just, he has like a 3-second cooldown on his Phantom Rush, and he's just gonna, be a menace. But with Spectre, she is limited to 140-second cooldown. So buying a kill item that's on a 10-second cooldown doesn't really synergize that well. Or like
Seems logic.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so we're right around the hour mark right now. I mean, I feel like we have some really good takeaways. Do you have any final questions or thoughts that you'd like to discuss?
Maybe you can explain again the constraint.
The constraint thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like right now so first off, I will be giving you notes just in case, and you'll also be able to watch this back. So always feel free to do that. But for the constraints thing is right now, you like when I watch you, if I watch these moments where you're farming from like here and you're like doing this and you're like farming the camps, and then you're farming this camp, and then you're farming the wave, like there's like textbook efficiency going there. Like you've got really good, you're walking from creep to creep, you have a good sense of how to efficiently farm that. And that's what's gotten you to this far, right? So now we're trying to replicate that, but rather than only going for the most efficient farm, what I'm trying to teach you is the actual best farm is not the farm that nets you the most GPM. It's the farm that puts you either near your team when you want to be with them, or away from them when you want to be away from them. Otherwise, you end up in unnecessary situations that result in deaths. So even if this creep wave is worth 800 gold and these two camps are worth like 400 gold, it's still inefficient, quote unquote, to go to that wave if there's a teammate there, because then you ended up dying to Ricky like a minute later. Or dying to PA a minute later. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, does that make more sense? The goal is to get the highest GPM, and we're just now adding the fact that players are getting better and better. So for you to achieve that optimal GPM, you need to add this constraint. Which effectively lowers your GPM, but that's why I generally tell people... Go ahead.
Not explicit, it's implicit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's not about numbers,
Yeah, exactly. Precisely.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, really good.
Awesome, man. Any other final questions?
No.
Sweet.
It's good.
Awesome, man. I enjoyed this session. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, me too. Learn a lot. I'm happy.
Awesome, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. See you.
Yep. I think that was a really good session. That one might go on YouTube. That was a really good session. Actually, that may be the wrong replay. Yeah, that is the wrong replay. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and send them these notes. Okay. When will this get uploaded to YouTube? Usually when I turn them into like full YouTube videos, they take like a week or two to get out because I like end up editing them and cutting them to be more efficient or like, you know, more yeah, time efficient and stuff like that. But I do have a coaching VODs channel that all of my sessions go to. It's a separate YouTube channel and they just get uploaded raw. So those get uploaded, I believe, like every Wednesday. Most of the time. So they get uploaded pretty quick. The language barrier added a bit of a challenge there. Yeah, it did. I think he did a good job, though. Like, I mean, obviously it's not his native language, and, you know, who am I to talk? I'm learning Dutch, but his English is way better than my Dutch, for instance. So yeah, I mean, the language barrier, it's unfortunate, but I think we got through. Like, I think the communication was there. Hey BSJ, do you read YouTube chat? I do. I do try to check in with the YouTube chat when I'm in coaching sessions or classes or whatever. You know, I don't really read any chat, Twitch or YouTube. What's the dojo? So the dojo is my free Discord community where we run game nights and events where people are. It's all about turning Dota from toxic to enjoyable again. It's really focused on like improvement and enjoyment of the game. And we also do classes and one-on-one coaching that are paid services. So we have a class tier, which is what I was doing about an hour ago or 2 hours ago. And then we have a coaching tier of payment that he just signed up for. So yeah, it's just basically trying to build a positive improvement environment for Dota. And it's really been my life's work for the last 10 months or so. Yeah. Nice. Rocks Dota. Very awesome. Okay. I am exhausted, guys. So we're going to wrap up the stream there. I do plan to have scheduled streams on Mondays now. I've been looking how to like consciously insert streaming hours back into the week because streaming has not been my #1 priority for quite some time now. but I do find value in interacting with chat and playing pubs. I haven't really been able to find time to do that consistently for the last like 4 months or so. And I intentionally stopped streaming pubs because I wasn't enjoying myself, and I kind of had to like do what I did with Dota back with Deadlock. I had to like leave, gain perspective, and then come back. So I'm at that stage of like looking to come back to not full-time streaming, but to have some scheduled streams. That's like what I'm looking to come back to. So yeah, I guess I just want to let you guys know that starting next week, there is going to be a scheduled Sunday stream, or not, sorry, Monday stream. It's going to have started like 6 hours ago-ish. And then we always have class, and sometimes I have coaching sessions. So the goal is to play, 3-4 pubs, and then do as much coaching as there is. So yeah, that's the intent. And I plan to add maybe 2 or 3 streams total. Have more of a regular schedule. That's just the goal. I mean, I don't want to make any promises of exactly when that's going to happen, but we're starting with Monday. And there's going to be other days of the days that I stream, but I even like tried streaming last Wednesday night, and I realized if I do it kind of improv impulsively that it doesn't work. I'm like too tired or not in a good mood. So I just want to make it a part of my week. But yeah. That's awesome. I'll walk raise says I can vouch that the social nights are really nice. We've been slowly but surely improving on like creating a better environment to communicate and get better. Like we're really, I can only say we're really putting a lot of work into it. We've made a lot of progress to having the facilitators within the dojo help you guys have a better learning environment. It's very exciting. I mean, we've made a lot of strides. Yeah, come join us if you haven't already, either joining the dojo or if you have already in the dojo, definitely check out the events tab at the top of the Discord server for that game night there. That's awesome, Will Marnetto. That's awesome, man. Have a nice day as well, Quirquir. So it's really, honestly, it's like why I'm doing what I'm doing. It makes it meaningful to hear you guys have such positive experiences. And I also love hearing about the negative experiences if it's something that we can make better. There's been a lot of lessons, a lot of mistakes, a lot of growing pains. So, but it's all been worth it. It's like weird because I feel like we're finally hitting our stride. Like I feel like a lot's really coming together. But then at the same time, there's like a shit ton to do still. So, but yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I might stream tomorrow, maybe. Hopefully, I'd like to find some time. I do need to make a YouTube video first and foremost. My priorities right now are like YouTube videos and coaching and community, and then like streaming is fourth. So we're kind of like trying to find a place to put it in there. That's what she said. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you later. Have a great night or day, morning, afternoon, whatever it is. See you guys.